You got it?
No, nothing's happening yet. Okay, I've got it.
Good evening all, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to FRL GT3 Sundays, round 3 here at Monza. Live commentary from the RSR boys. Timmy Blunder here with RSR Cooper. How's it going, Cooper?
Good evening. Very well, Timmy. Great to be back. Obviously, we've had a little bit of a break. Give all the FRL boys times to practice, and I think what an awesome place to come to, Monza. I think it's going to be chaos in a organised manner, I think. So yeah, it's good to have you back as well with your little trip away. We'll talk about that a bit later on. But yeah, as always, we're going to open the show. Obviously, we've got practice going on at the moment, and at the start of each show, we do always we'll have a chat with the driver, as you guys will get to understand each week. And this week, we are joined by Volton, who's going to join us this week. Are you there? Yeah, Volton. There we go. So everybody. Yeah, that's right. Beep, beep. Everybody. Everybody. Let's get it right. Or let's just call him Chris. Right. Good. Anyway, so thanks for taking a bit of time out of practice to join us tonight. Well, we won't keep you too long then. But just to get a bit more of a background on you, yeah. How long have you been into sim racing? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there are some quick people in the grid, and I know we're looking at the GT3 Sundays, but I think the community within FRL, everyone's pretty tight and do multiple leagues within that. And me and Timmy was just saying for the Taco Tuesdays, we're looking at the people in Tier 1, and we're like, I mean, well, it's going to be brilliant. I mean, we've only been doing it about probably just under 2 years, same as you properly in terms of the lockdowns, and it's just a great way to challenge yourself, really. Well, good. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
If I may interrupt, gents, it appears that we have comms issues again on the live, so can
As in, who's
yeah, so you're
not
Volton,
coming
you're
through?
not coming through, mate. So if you check your
Yeah, have a
settings to
quick
make
look,
sure you're
mate.
sharing audio and broadcast.
Yeah.
Technical
It's
difficulties again, I'm afraid, folks. Yeah.
That's okay. Well, I better let everyone know then that every time I've been saying beep, it's not because I'm a robot and I'm programmed, it's because there were some expletives being said, which fortunately everyone can't hear all the time. Yeah, just check that out. We're going to have a good look at that, actually. So that's okay, so if you go into party settings, and then go into a mic mix and just make sure that's turned up to start with.
Just while you guys are having a look at that, I'll just have a bit of a rundown of what's going on. So Keddy's up there in number 1 in free practice. We've got 24 minutes of free practice remaining. I believe it's a late start tonight, 15 minutes later than scheduled, maybe?
Yeah, I think we are a bit later,
Yeah, so Keddy's sitting in number 1 free practice at the minute, 1:48.9. Lock and Load right behind him, 51 thousandths behind, then Lely 9, 0.7 behind. Then Chica's very close as well, within a second of Keddy's time. So they're your top 4 right at this moment in time.
Good.
Like I say, 23 minutes to go. Quarter
Any
past.
joy, buddy?
It should be there now. Share your voice. I've put it to allow.
Yeah.
Disable game chat audio. It's back on. Why did I have that off?
That's all right. I think a lot of people.
Yeah, you're coming
that.
through now, mate. You're coming through.
Good.
Right.
Good. So
let's start again.
Rewind. So tonight, everyone, we've been having a chat. We've been having a chat with our tier 2 kingpin. Yeah, and he's been letting us know how he's been getting into sim racing and how things have evolved. What I was keen to know, actually, is what I'm going to ask every driver is, do you guys get involved with any of the leagues, or is it just FRL at the moment?
So, I am personally running this game on PC as well.
Yeah.
I run a lot of other games. The long and short of it is I'm single, so all my time's mine. And
you lucky guy.
I know. And whenever I want to play any game, I can fucking do it. No, so I play in it's called Numb Thumbs Gaming Community as well, and I've had the pleasure of being invited to asked to run a PC based ACC server there as well.
Good.
So it's in the makings. We're kind of getting going, but yes, I run with FRL. I used to run with ISRL, TNRL. I was addicted to the game to the point where I was racing 7 days a week, two races a night.
Yeah, but it's easily done, though, isn't it? It is easily done.
It's so addicting. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So why particularly a Assetto Corsa? What's the draw?
It's the physics of the game, the feel, the noise, everything about it, the feedback for the steering wheel. It's just amazing, and the guys we're racing with as well. There's been a few toxic guys. They've kind of managed to move on, but every single person that's part of FRL right now, and all the leagues, all the tiers, all the race days are just top notch. They're great. It's amazing. It's seen us through a hell of a time.
Yeah, I do think, because we're involved with another league. I won't mention it. But we're involved with another league, and I have to say that just the camaraderie, if you like, or the way that people interact, and it's like FRL is on a journey. It's what it feels like anyway, and it's good to be part of it. I know I was saying about who's your biggest rival. We'll get to that, but it's not a case of who do you want to smash off every week. It's just who is it? Say Timmy.
So I would say, look, talking about rivalry in this, it's more, it's camaraderie. It's like there's no seriousness in it. There's just I've interacted with so many of the new guys and some of the current guys and the vets, and I'm always trying to better myself and always racing them and always trying to pitch in some kind of challenge. I would say my rival is every fucker in this league.
Good. But especially your teammate, though, right? Obviously.
Oh, fucking yes, definitely.
Yeah, who's your teammate at the minute? Who was it?
In this, it's Tug, the cunty cunt, we call him.
Has he got somebody standing in today? Yeah.
He's pulled a sickie tonight, so the guy's fucking bowed out. I'm raging.
It's a fast track, though, isn't it? Not everyone likes that, but who knows? Who knows?
So, Tug, this is to you, Tug. Ha ha ha.
We'll get Tug on next week then, yeah? That's what we'll do. We'll get him on next week, and he can have his say on the matter. Good.
See you next Tuesday. That's what I'd say.
I like to say that quite often. Okay. I think it's good. I'm really grateful that you've given us a bit of your time. It's good. Everyone else in the community that hasn't had the pleasure of chatting with you. And this is also a good thing, because everyone gets to hear each other's voices now and gets to understand a bit more about each other. So
your vault is a Scottish twat that likes Iron Brew.
And obviously, if there's anything we can do...
Oh, aye.
Yeah, basically, that's what I was thinking. So, if we could do anything else to help, then you let us know. But have you got any other questions to me?
I was just going to say, is the Porsche that you're driving at the minute, is that your go-to, or is that what you've...
Yeah. It looks like the server's having a putty.
My go-to used to be the Bentley, because it was the big cheap car and you could just drive in a straight line and get around the track any corner any like. I've started driving the Porsche because it's just amazing to drive. It's got anti-gravity back end when you don't want it to, but if you can nail its setup, it's just an amazing drive.
Yeah. So any particular sort of tracks? What's your favourite track out there?
So there's a very, very... Up there's got to be Kyalami, Brands Hatch, and Mount Panorama. I can't decide between the three of them. The three of them are my favourite. Mount Panorama because I always leave a race sweating like a bitch. Brands Hatch because I know it at the back of my hand and I'm getting better and better and faster. I used to do mid-35s on there, believe it or not. I know, horrible time. I'm now kind of mid-25s, which is okay.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
And Kyalami, it's up and down, and it's you've got to really focus. You don't get any time to think. It's amazing.
Yeah, so a couple of those circuits in there I really like as well. Brands Hatch is a favourite of mine. Kyalami haven't driven an awful lot on this game. In fact, the GT4 last week was the first time I'd driven Kyalami effectively on this game, and very rarely GT4s, so kind of enjoyed that. But yeah, one of my favourites.
It's fantastic. The Sector 3 is my favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Good. Okay, I better get back in that server because I just got kicked out, unfortunately. So.
Oh dear. At least you're not missing the real action, eh? So. Well, anyway, Keddy, you're Volton. Thanks for coming to speak to us. We won't hold you up any longer because, like you say, you've got some practice to get in and then qualifying. So, good luck in the race.
Okay, thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Speak to you later.
Best of luck, mate. Best of luck.
Right, thanks. Cheers.
Bye. Bye.
So, you got yourself back in, Coops, or what?
I'm working on it, Mr. Blunder. Let's go. Okay, well, it's letting me in. I don't know what happened then, to be honest with you, but hopefully we'll all be smooth from now on.
Yeah, seeing as how you're not in here, I'll get you up to date.
Yep.
So at the moment, Lock and Load's at the top there with a 1 at 48.5. Keddy's next on the list with obviously a 148.9. Lely's just outside the 48, I think a 49.1 at the minute. And then Chica's put himself into fourth. And Joseph T. Rose up there, fifth place. So
well done, that's great. I've got to say though, there's some punchy times, Timmy. I mean, we've got it's a green track.
Yeah.
So, if we were 19s and track temp 24s on an optimum track, I would be very surprised if we don't see some 47s potentially today.
Yeah, I think that's definitely on the cards. Especially as
we've got 15 minutes left, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, as conditions improve, the track rubbers up. You'll expect those times to come down, and 47s. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll see 47s today. Just on board with Mr. Error at the minute in this bit of practice. See how he's getting on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Like I say, it's always chaos into the first corner, or normally it is. So I'll be interested to see how everybody handles it into the first chicane.
Yeah, and let's hope everybody that's obviously the chaps won't be listening because they're busy concentrating. But anyone else is listening that is part of the group or not part of the group. JR Lock and Load put out quite an interesting message in the GT3 chat a little while ago, last week actually, because this race should have been last week and it was postponed. And he was quite right in saying, guys, into T1, 2 can go through T1, if you give space. 3 is going to end pretty badly, and I think he's going to have quite big elbows today.
Yeah.
So let's hope. Well, I mean, I'm sure everyone's going to have big elbows today, but I hope everybody does it in the right way, so that we can all get through that and then set about actually having a race.
Yeah, you've got to be careful of the concertina effect into the first corner. Yeah, everybody else at the back braking where they think is right. You just got to have a bit more restraint into that first corner. Brake, a fair bit earlier than you think you need to. You can always roll off the brakes and let the car roll into the corner if you've broken way too early. But yeah, it's careful.
I personally like to get on the brakes when we're going down into turn 1 at Monza. I always get on the brakes pretty early, even if I don't intend to actually brake, even just to put the lights on. Yeah, so I'm braking a tiny little bit, and I mean really early, just to try and let the people know behind, because we're all so excited that, that chap's braking, I better start to think about braking, and then I just pray that they've seen that message and subliminally they've starting to go through their process of braking, so that they don't end up much off, really, because it's not very nice when that happens, is it?
Indeed not.
No.
So should we do a little bit of a track guide? Yeah.
I think we should introduce it to the viewers, really, because obviously we do the interview and the track guide. You can't have a stream without a track guide.
Yeah.
And I know how much you love tracks, so you are going to be our track guide guy.
The track guide guy. Ah, okay.
How brilliant is that?
Master of guides. Okay, fantastic.
Okay.
Well, Monza. Here's my own personal way of driving it. Everybody's got slightly different versions, I'm sure. But for me, obviously, you get straight down Rettifilo Tribuno, which is basically translated straight of the grandstands. Flat down the straight, you're looking to brake, I would suggest, just before the 150 board into the first chicane, which is Variante del Rettifilo. So you come out of there, hugging tight to the right-hand curb for me, and then sweep into the left as much as you can in the chicane, early on the gas, and then you're basically flat out from there all the way through Curva Grande, hugging the inside line. I like to let the car drift to the middle of the circuit as you come out of the curve itself. And then you head into the second chicane, which is Variante della Roggia. And again, I'm looking for the 150 board, if memory serves. Get the car stopped nice and early. Again, hug that first left-hand part of the chicane to open up the right. On the throttle on there. Try not to take too much curb on the exit and run the risk of picking up the gravel. Again, up into the Lesmos. First Lesmo. Again, it's very easy to turn into too early, a bit like Hawthorne's at Brands Hatch. So quite a late turn in. Make sure you hold that curb on the inside. Accelerate out using pretty much all the curb on the exit of the first Lesmo. Heading into the second Lesmo, there's 2 white lines on the floor. The second white line is roughly where your braking zone should be. Hook that up. Personally, I like to drop down a gear more than you'd expect and get the back end to rotate on the car. In fact, quite often I'll let the car slide there. But be very careful coming out of Lesmo 2, because if you get on the throttle too early or you've got it too sideways, it will spit you out to the inside wall. So out of Lesmo 2, full throttle all the way through Curva del Seraglio, and as you head down towards Variante Ascari, which is the left, right, left, you're going under the bridge and looking for the kind of overhead banner, use that as a braking guide. You absolutely want to muller the curb on the inside on the first left, and then take the right. Now, there's 2 kind of lines through the right. So if you're staying on the grey tarmac stuff, be careful of the first part of the curb, because effectively it's like a gutter. And if you put your tyre in there, it will pull you off the circuit. And I've had many a race end from that particular gutter in the circuit. You can take the curb, but again, if you take the curb, be careful, because there's sausage curbs on top of the curb itself. If you take them, they will bounce your car. So you've got to choose one of 2 lines through there, and then effectively full throttle through the left-hander, straddle the curb on the exit, being careful not to pick up the gravel, because again that will spit you out if you're not careful. And then you're flat out until you get to the parabolica, making sure when you brake you curve and pick up that inside curb at the parabolica. If you're wide through the corner, the car will want to push wide, so be patient on the throttle. Now, 2 ways out that corner. Personally, I like to allow the car on the throttle early and to drift out wide and pick up the curb on the outside. A lot of people, though, like to keep a tighter line. But either way, once you've come out of that corner, you're basically shortest line down the start-finish straight again. So that's a bit of a track guide for Monza for you.
And hopefully all in a 147 flat.
Exactly. If you're
right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, anything in the 47s is fast time around here. In fact, anything low 48s is fast.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm having a cardiac arrest at around 150, to be fair, but there we go. Not really. Okay, good. So that was a fabulous track guide.
Thank you very much,
Mr. Blunder. You know, I like the way you put the actual Italian words in there. But the one that caught my eye was the guy that was rogering his auntie.
Yes, well, there's a few we call them strange names for corners at Monza, is there not?
There is, yeah. So we have 8 minutes of free practice left. We've got quite a few out on track, just dialing things in. There's a little race going on there. Yvonne's having a...
Is this into parabolic you're talking about, yeah?
Yeah, he's having a little race with Dell. Oh, there we go. That's the problem.
So who is
not
out
just
on
with the Porsche, it's just got to get that traction right. So whilst we have a look at that, let's just have a quick look at our teams for this evening and our race check-in. So we do have a couple of absentees. Tug Burke's not in tonight. He's come down unwell, which is not great. So I hope you're doing okay, buddy, and I hope you'll be back soon. Don't think anyone's standing in. So Volton is he's flying the Twazaki Twasic flag on his own. DJ Clark isn't here either for Team Becco, so Chica's on his own on that front.
DJ Clark's in at the minute, mate.
It says absent. Is he in it? Oh, he is in.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wrong screen. Okay, well, good. I'm glad he's here, so we'll forget that bit. And our man James Williams is not with us this evening, so Shadow Lancer is debuting in there with Hutch. Yeah.
They're running the Audi, yes?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, they are, yeah. So yeah, other than that, hold on a minute, I just need to send a little message back to Mr. Error. He should be driving, not sending me a message. Yes, right.
You're now AWOL, so, in.
I'm not AWOL, I'm right here. I'll just sending a message back to one of our drivers. How multi-skilled is he? Yeah, so let's hope he does well. So the rest of the teams, we have a full grid. So let's have a quick run through there. So Crazies and Dell, they're running in the Beamer. Berlin's Most Wanted. We've done Chica and Clark. Darren Mark is running the Audi with Taskowski. Those two are present. Triple X Motorsport. I won't talk about them too much today, but I'm sure from the last stream you remember they were my favourite. So Gamer Dad at King of the Hills. I believe Gamer Dad is going to be with us if he's not at the moment. I think he's going to be jumping in as soon as he gets back from work, so that's commitment for you. Iron Brew Team Racing, we've got Keddy and Tariq Tornado. And again, I like that. I like the way that team is formed. You know, you've got Keddy. We know Keddy's pretty quick, and you got Tariq, who you feel is fairly quick but improving. So it's a good match-up. People can learn from each other and help. Joseph Tiro and BRG Marpa in the Gulf Claren. We'll see how those boys get on today. And obviously Glorious Wings in the Bentley, Lely and Mr. Error. Those two, I'm sure, will be punching near the front today. Run DJC Racing, which is JR Sim Racing, and Rashid. So that is the teams that we have, and that's our track guide that we've done for you chaps and ladies.
Okay, should we run through the championship standings?
Yeah, let's make sure everyone knows where we're at and see if we've got any predictions. You've got to put a pound on something today.
Pound
We're gonna
of
have
what?
a bet.
Flesh?
Yeah.
Pound of flesh.
Hopefully.
Okay.
A pound of flesh.
Rightio. I'll chop it off later, yeah?
Depends what you're going to chop off.
Yeah, not that bit. Definitely not that bit.
And that's not going to weigh a pound.
Yeah, that's more like 10. Anyway. So, championship standings. At the top at the minute, obviously, we have JR Lock and Load. He's sitting there currently on 105 points. So he's out there doing well at the front. We've got Lely9 sitting in second place with 82 points on the board, I think it is, I believe. Followed by Keddy in the Ferrari at 62 points. Then Rashid has 58. And Crazies, and congratulations to him because he did, I believe, win his 5th championship at the last race. I forget which race it was. GT4s, yes?
Yeah,
GT4?
it was the race that we got cajoled into joining at the last moment, and I was much faster than you in that race, but you were obviously fighting with your Volton, which we didn't talk to him about in the interview because we didn't want him to get upset, but you weren't very happy with him in that video, which we didn't post to everybody else because, well, it was a bit R-rated, really, the language that Timmy used. But yeah, 5-time champion, what a great... But that was because you got in everyone else's way, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
You got in Will's way.
Yeah, I got absolutely murdered at the first corner, and Crazies and Mr. Friedman come past me, and well, you know, I was quite happy with the result of that race, to be honest. I think I finished 5th in the end, in the second race. First race I jumped in with 0 practice, 0 time at Carmel Army, and 0 time in the GT4. Had absolutely no tyre pressures anywhere near right. Second race, okay, 5th place. Yeah, I kind of half stuck with them, so I was more than happy with that. Anyway, enough about me. So,
well done, you big dick.
Yeah, £10. So, 6th place we have Mr. Williams, as we were talking about earlier. So he's sitting there at the moment on 45 points, and then you've got Chica on 42. Joseph Tiro at 40. Mr. Error, who had a really good show in last race I watched, 36 points, and then Hutch at 33. You got the best scoops you got in front of you, or do you want me to carry on?
I'm looking at a Triple X Motorsport. You can do this bit.
Yeah, I'll do this bit then. I'll carry on. So we've got DJ Clark next, sitting there on 32, with Tugbert right behind on 21. And then Tarek in the Ferrari, 27. FRL Gamer Dad sitting there on 26, Dal on 7, Darren Merck on 5, your Volton also sitting on 5, and the last point scorer is King of the Hills with 2 points.
So team championships are on the same page. Do you know, I got distracted because as well as us doing commentary and interviewing people and all this great stuff that we do, I'm also a weatherman. Did you know that? I'm also a weatherman. No. So I was just checking my super duper, high-tech weather thing. I stuck my finger in the air and it went all the way to Monza. And it looks like within the next 15 minutes, it's going to rain.
Oh, really?
So that looks, the track's rubbered in a bit more. It's now a fast track. Temp's gone up to 25, but within the next 15 minutes, it's going to rain. So that's going to change the dynamics of people. They've got to get out and get their qualifying laps done. Otherwise, well, if that runs into the race, that could really put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Indeed, it could, yeah. So, would you like to run through the constructors? You got the points there?
Yeah, I've got that, yeah. So, Run DJC Racing are currently top on 163. Glorious Wings 118 are in second place. Iron Brew Racing Team, they're on 96 in third. Not fast, just Interstellar. Those modest guys are on 78 points in the Audi in fourth. Team Beko 74 points in fifth. Berlin's Most Wanted are on 54 points in the Beamer. Gulf Claren are 7th on 46. Then Triple X Motorsport on 44. Twaziki Twazak Motorsport on 36. I couldn't say that if I'd had a few drinks, I'll tell you that much. And Audi Sport CR are propping everyone up at the moment on 35. So I think it's quite an important one, this one, I think, to me, in terms of not necessarily just the Drivers' Championship, more so for the teams, because you've got a pretty big gap there between 1 and 2 already. So I certainly think Lely and Mr. Error aren't going to want to let those two run off with it. But then, in my humble opinion, the Ferrari is a quick motor around here. So, you know, Keddy and Tarek, you know, those guys, it depends if everyone's clean, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, the Bentley is, we know the Bentley's a quick motor, and I know you know, the Bentley was your first love on this game, which is great. But
yeah, it's not a straight line motor, is it?
No, the Ferrari should, you know, it should put. I mean, we know the Merc's quick round here as well, so I think it's going to be
game on.
Yeah, it is going to be pretty tight, I actually think.
Yeah, indeed, I think you're right. So, I believe we now have the start of qualifying. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So first of the 2 qualifyings, obviously for people that have not watched FRL GT3 Sundays before, this is a setup with 2 sets of qualifying, 2 races. Races are half an hour apiece, and qualifying 15 minutes. And the top 3 from race 1 should, all being correct, drop to the back of the grid for the second race and stay out of qualifying, which makes things interesting, spices it up. But to be fair, Cooper, that hasn't really, so far, affected race results too much.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't.
So last 4 races, effectively the guys that finished 1, 2, 3 have come from the back
through the field.
Yeah, to get right up the sharp end come the end of the second race.
Which is still fantastic, because even if you're, you know, for those guys at the sharp end that are then, you know, getting through the field, that's great, because they're going to have a great time. You know, they're challenging themselves, they're pushing themselves. You know, they've got to be aware of what's going on around them. But also for the people that are, you know, being caught and passed, it's also a very good exercise for them in terms, because we're all always trying to get better. And if the fastest guy on the track comes past you and you can try and stick with him for a quarter of a lap, I don't know, half a lap, you know, and just look at some of the lines and the braking points, you know, that little bit of experience there, that can really help people, you know. People do it with me all the time when I drive past them. They're like, wow, you are... especially Lurchy. I mean, Lurchy's in Tacos the other day when we did the Silverstone race. He was shocked that I ended up down the back. I was too, because I had pace. But
could I just ask? Sorry, you just reminded me of something there. I need to.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt? So obviously, I mean, a lot of people will have seen comment on the on Discord, but I was obviously away in Abu Dhabi last week, so I obviously didn't take part in Taco Tuesdays, Silverstone, but I could swear when I was out there. So I stayed, I don't know if you know, but I stayed at Yas Island Ratana Hotel, which is right next to the Grand Prix circuit in Abu Dhabi. So you can see
that's my favourite hotel, that is.
Yeah, so I could swear that I saw you out on the track at Abu Dhabi. Did you come out to Abu Dhabi as well?
You thought you saw me on the track in Abu Dhabi? No.
Yeah, I do. No?
You probably saw Keddy flying in.
No, hang on. No, I'm sure I saw you turn up there.
There's a punchline there. No.
Because you didn't turn up at Silverstone, did you?
Oh, that took you a while, didn't it?
Well, you know, did you actually get to
just
Silverstone?
Building everyone up
missed it.
I did.
No?
I'll give you a very brief situation of what happened at Silverstone. Okay, I qualified 4th. Yeah, I qualified very, very well. I had strong pace in that race, but me, like an idiot, I took some information I saw on Discord as gospel and thought I had to pit between 30 and 60 minutes. So there were 2 pit stops because it was a 90-minute race, double points, which you missed out on, don't be sore. And because we know you are. Yeah. And so I thought, okay, I fueled for 30 minutes, yeah? But...
So can I stop you there as well? Because I'm pretty sure that although you're telling me you fueled for 30 minutes, you didn't actually make it to 30 minutes?
No, because I was driving that fast. I burnt the fuel really quickly. By the way, guys, qualifying is on. We'll get to it in 1 second. But I need to finish this story because it's amazing. And so I'd fueled for 30 minutes. Well, actually, I fueled for less than 30 minutes. I forgot there's a full lap at the start instead of a short start procedure. And then so I thought, well, I can't duck it in the pits now because it's not 30 minutes. The pit lane's not open. So I trundled around like a dickhead at about 2 miles an hour, lift and coast, slow down, let everyone pass, and then I made sure I got into the pit lane at exactly 30 minutes, which I did. You can all watch my video, and I did that, and it then didn't say the pit lane's now open because it was already fucking open. So I basically gave away everything on that pit stop and ended up back in 17th to just plough through for the next hour and 10 minutes, just trying to set fastest laps. Anyway,
just before we finish this. Sorry, go on. The point is what? Go on.
The point is about drivers following other drivers. So me and Lurches had a really good battle at the end a few times, and I thought he was being really nice to me. Yeah, at the end he said that was a good battle, and I was like, cheers, buddy. And then I watched his stream. Lunchies, if you're watching, buddy. I watched his stream on Twitch or whatever it was, and he's effing and blinding at me. Get the fuck out of the way, fuck. And I was like, oh, that's not very nice. But anyway, that's all racing, and I voted for him for drive of the day as well, because he finished 10th. It was a great drive. But anyway, back to qualifying, please. Let's do some qualifying. Let's do some work.
Yes, let's. Yeah. So I've just been watching Mr. Lock and Load there. He's currently sitting pretty at the top there, 148.3, over a second faster than Lely. Now, Lely, in fact, so did Lock and Load, did they not? Did they both have? I know Lely had a complete and utter nightmare in race 2 last week, didn't he?
Yeah.
Got tangled up, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Did we not lose Lock and Load from one of the races?
I think it was at Brands. I think he must have had connection issues or something because he just disappeared, didn't he? If I remember correctly, which was a shame actually. But yeah, so those two are going pretty well. As the new weatherman, it's now saying it's not going to rain, so it's pretty accurate as always with the weather.
Yeah.
I was going to get excited about that. Then. Yeah, me too. So Crazies is in third at the moment, and Mr. Error. Joseph T. Wright, I tell you, we talk about improvements and stuff, yeah? You're watching this chap, he's obviously putting the time in, because you have to say, since the start of the season, or certainly since we've been commenting on this, he has been steadily getting better, hasn't he?
Indeed, yeah. Yes.
Tarek's in 9th, Hutch. Okay.
So just talking about the fact we seem to lose Lock and Load, and Lely had a bit of a mare race 2. So the race results at 4 last week, in case people missed it. Race 1, Lock and Load took the win there, followed by Keddy and Lely 9. So the faster guys at the front, Mr. Friedman, Mr. Crazies. So some of your best guys floating to the top, as it were. At race 2, so Keddy worked his way through to win that one. As we've already discussed, Lock and Load and Lely had some issues, so Chica took 2nd place, I believe, and Mr. Error came through in 3rd, which I thought was a great performance. I was very impressed with Mr. Error's drive last week.
Yeah, so was I. And again, we don't know all these drivers properly yet, and we'll get to do that throughout the season. So we don't know who's strong at this track, who's not strong at the track. We've got the right setups on the cars. Do people have a sensitive right foot when it comes to powering out of some of these corners? We'll find out, of course.
Yeah, I think this circuit actually, we're talking about what people are used to, but this is more of a technical track than you think.
Yeah, I agree.
If you lose time in the corners, you've got nowhere to gain it back, because you're not going to gain effectively anything on the straights unless you're in a slip. Obviously, some cars are slightly faster than others in a straight line, but GT3s on the whole, it's not a vast amount of difference in straight line speed. Nothing, to write home about. So,
no.
Like I said earlier, at the Ascaris, it's so easy to get yourself turned round in either the right-hander or the left-hander coming out of it. take the gravel on the outside of the left-hander coming out of it, and you're going round and round. The same if you hit the little gutter I was on about earlier in the right-hand section of it.
Yeah.
You know, and the lines through the chicanes, you can actually lose significant amount of time through the chicane if you don't get the right lines. So this track is a lot more technical than you think.
Yeah, it is. It's not just 3 straights bolted together with a couple of lesbos, is it?
No.
No, it's not. Yeah, no. And, well, we'll see. It definitely promotes consistency. I know you need to be consistent on any track, but as you're saying, in terms of where you're gaining your time back, the only place to make up time is through the corners. So, and generally speaking, you know, there isn't a lot of room for error. As I'm just watching Yvolton now, he's just doing what we've said, coming out of Ascari, and he's just he's spun it on the way out, so he's had his right foot down too quick. So yeah, it is very technical track. You know, if you're not hitting your brake marker and if you're not trading properly on those brakes as you're turning, it's going to throw you off. And the exit is so important around here, out of all the chicanes. And I think an area where people do get caught quite often, when you're coming into Ascari, that first left-hander with the sort of the small, they're not, I wouldn't really class them as sausage curbs, but the small yellow raised curves on that left-hander. Obviously you need to cut that as much as you can, but even if you cut that by a millimetre too much, it's going to unsettle the car. And if you're out of sequence through there, you can lose, I don't mean if you throw it off, but if you're just out of sequence through there, you can lose 8 tenths easily through that. And then you've got to struggle all the way down the back straight as well.
So what's your preferred line through Parabolica? Like I said earlier, I hook up that curb on the inside, on the right side, and I like to get on the throttle earlier, and I personally like to let the car sweep all the way to the outside curb, and then cut across. But I do see quite a lot of drivers that like tight lines out of Parabolica.
Yeah, no, I'm the same as you on that, to be honest. I'll get on the anchors at the 100 board, and I'll trail in, and then I'll feed the power through to drift out. But I do. You see a lot of guys that take the tight line and come out of that close to the curb, and so maybe they're taking a bit more speed in and then cutting in, or it's horses for courses, isn't it? It depends what suits the car as well. But for me, it's the same scenario as you. I'll sweep out on it as I get onto the power. But yeah, it's all good. Lock and load is. Oh, who's done that now? Yvolton spun it again coming out of Lesmo 2. I think he needs to have a look at his aero setup, because that's twice I've been just watching him, because he's a featured driver from earlier. I've been keeping my eye on him, and coming out of Ascari, when you're getting on the power, he's obviously gone on too hard, or he's a bit loose through there and he's spun it there, and then he's come out again. This Lesmo 2, we all know, is an area where you've got to get on the power early, because it's such a big run down to Ascari, but if you're not careful, the cars like to step and turn on you there, don't they?
Yeah. So we were talking earlier, obviously in practice earlier on, about the track was green, I believe, in free practice earlier.
Yeah.
So we're now up to 2027, so that's a nice temperature and track conditions for fast times. Now, Keddy and Lock and Load are right on the cusp of 47s.
47s. It's quite a big gap they've got back to Lely there, isn't it?
Those two,
over a second.
Those two are in a class of their own at the moment around here. I thought one of them might have took that into the 47s by now, but like I said earlier, 48 flats, 48 loads is fast around here anyway.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Can't moan. The quality of the driving is right up there. So, but yeah, they're in a class of their own at the moment.
So those two are split by 18 thousandths, and then we've got a second gap, and then Lenny and Clark, they're separated by 2 tenths. Chica's only so Chica's not far off them, and Yvolton's spun it again coming out of the second chicane. He's going to have a tough night if he carries on doing that.
So Lock and Load's out on a fast lap at the moment. Now, just as he came up to Rettifilio, which obviously the first chicane, it showed Keddy in the pits. Now he's out, but there was only about 1 minute 50 something seconds left. So is Keddy going to get round for another lap? So Lock and Load should definitely finish this.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's
Well,
showing
I'm
him
with you
up.
at the moment.
Yeah, so it's showing him up
Yeah.
at the moment by.
Yeah.
Well,
We're 10th.
we're not going to. I don't want to
to.
jinx it, but it's on target for a 47 right now. But yeah, I don't know whether Keddy
Are you
will
on
get
board
round
with
or
him?
not. I'm on board with Lock and Load at the minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not actually on board on the car, but we're following him at the moment. So it's just coming up into Ascari. As I said, more of our first curb.
Nice through there. Nice.
Yeah. So nice and tidy.
He's lost a bit of time there, though.
Oh, he has, yeah. Oh, so he's getting it down the straight, though. So he's come out. He's exited well. So sacrificed a bit on the way in, come out okay. Parabola can pinch you, though. It's, you can lose time through there because it's such an open corner and the line can change so much.
Keddy's just coming down the...
So he's lost time coming out of Parabolica. He's lost the time coming out of Parabolica, so he's not going to improve his time by the look of it.
Right.
But he's going to get across the line. He could go for another lap if he wants to, and I'm sure he's staying on it.
Right, so I'm with Keddy now. He's got 12 seconds to get across the line, but we know what the qualifying thing normally does. It normally chops you off by 20 seconds, doesn't it?
Yeah, so let us have a look.
He's crossed the line.
Yeah, so I'm on board with Keddy now. Let's have a look.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll get his lap in.
So he's sandwiched between two of the guys, though. So he's got your Volton in front of him.
That's going to hold him up.
Well,
get out of his way, dude.
Yeah, which he's not, and I think that's going to... Well, he's still showing him up. He was 2/10 up, so significantly faster, but he's lost about 30 thousandths coming out of the first chicane.
Yeah, this braking zone is going to be key for this whole lap.
He's picked up the grass. Maybe a bit of loss of concentration there because he's looking at what's going on the Porsche, and he's pulled out the way. So Keddy's lap is finished. So that's his quali done. So let's go back on board with Lock and Load.
Is he doing another lap? He is. So he must have just pushed through then.
Yeah, unfortunately it won't let me to go back on the drive, so we can't actually see what time he's at. But he is on a fast lap still, coming up to Ascari. Taking a little bit less curb there on the inside, so he's a bit wider coming into the right-hander, I'd say. So I don't think he's going to be as fast through Ascari. Yeah, in fact, he's now backed out of the lap.
Backed out.
Yeah, so you could see that he just carried a touch too much speed into the first left-hander of Ascari and not quite collected enough the curb. Like I was saying earlier, you've got to absolutely muller that curb, and you could tell by his line he didn't quite hook it up there. So he's backed out of it. So that appears to be our qualifying. So we've got Keddy on pole with a 1:48.006. Now, Rashid is still out on the track at the moment. No, in fact, no, he's just come back into pit, so he's obviously backed out of it. So yeah, Keddy 1:48.006 on pole. Lock and Load just 18 thousandths of a second behind, and then nobody else could get within a second. So Rashid is next with a 1:49 flat. So they're your top three.
I'd just like to mention, I'll give a special shout out here to the chap in 12th place, Shadow Lancer. He's an amateur. I was watching him practice earlier on today, whilst we were doing some prep for the show. I spent a bit of time in the, watching a couple of Mr. Error, and Shadow Lancer was in there practicing. And he was punching 1:52.5 in his practice laps. And if you're looking at that time there, that's a 1:50.4, and he's 12. So well done. So it does show practice pays off.
Indeed.
That is good for him.
So do you want to just just run through the grid, Cooper? I'm just about to look at something. Just run
no worries. So Keddy's on pole. Lock and Load joins him on the front row. 18 thousandths between them. Rashid and Lely, they make up the second row. There's literally, there's 30 thousandths between them two, so that's close. 2 tenths back is Clark with Chica. On the third row, there's a tenth and a bit between them. On the fourth row, we've got Mr. Error and Crazies. There's nothing between them either. 50 thousandths between those two. Joseph T. Rowe and Gamer Dad, 9th and 10th. Good to see you, Gamer Dad. Obviously, I'm sure you rushed home to get on, but it's good to have you on. Tariq is 12th with Shadow Lancer. Hutch and BRG Marpat are 13th and 14th. And then we've got King of the Hills with Dell, who are down there on 15th and 16th. Then we've got Darren Mark and your Volton. I think the Volton's had quite a few issues with that Porsche during qualifying. I've seen at least 4 issues there. And then at the back we've got green pies. Welcome, green pies. I know you're new. I like the Irish flag that you put on there. So good luck today, mate. Take it easy. Don't get too cross. I'm sure it'll be fine. And Taskowski is bringing us up at the rear. Although I think Taskowski had some issues with blue flags. Looking at some of the comments and some of the chat that's going on Discord at the moment, but I'm sure all will be good, Taskowski. I know you're quick round here, mate. I've seen you drive in. We've raced in the public lobbies before we came into the league, so that makes up the full grid. We do have a mandatory stop in this 30-minute sprint race as well. That should make things a little more interesting.
Spice it up. Do you know what? Is it just? I take it it's just a tyre change. Yeah, no fuel.
Just no fuel, just a tyre change. So, especially at this track, if something goes wrong on lap 1, we'll get straight back in the pits and get your tyres changed, and go along. So that's what we've got.
Same drill as last time, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
If you find yourself at the back, or you have a nightmare start and you're near the front, you end up back there. Get in early, get the pits, get some free track, and try and pound out the lap times. So.
Hey Timmy, just to let you know that one of our chaps, that was very nice of him, has actually posted out into one of the ACC PS4 PS5 groups on Facebook saying, "What are you doing tonight? Fancy watching some good racing and commentary? Visit the link below."
Cool.
See, it's great. It's fun for all the family.
Just so everybody knows that I haven't done a lot of jumping through and watching whilst I've been doing certain things, like my track guide earlier. Totally in the zone, because I'm an old fogey and I don't know how to multitask. So when you were just doing the grid, I tried to go on YouTube and have a look at what the comments were, but there's no chance of me responding, because that would mean I'd got to think about 2 things at once. So
yeah, you have to use more than one finger to type, isn't it? You'd be like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I can't hardly see the buttons, what they say.
You're so old, mate. It's a real... Timmy's 45, by the way, everyone. He's 45, aren't you, Timmy? Well, everyone's always interested. They'll know the maturity in your voice. Anyway, 12 seconds until we get our formation lap underway. Are you with Keddy at the moment, are you?
Well, we're on with Lock and Load, because obviously he was the one that was still on the hot lap. But we're up at the front and we're in helicam, so we should have a good view of the start and any chaos that ensues, which would normally be bound to happen, but let's see.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So what we'll do, we'll split it, and when everything gets going, you keep an eye on the front guys. I'll keep an eye a bit further down the field, so we can try and make sure, as quick as it is, that we don't miss any of the action.
Yeah. So who are you on board with?
Me, I'm on board with Keddy.
And you're going to keep an eye on the back from there, are you?
Yeah, well, I'm going to have the camera that's from his wing at the back, so I'll see everyone at the back.
I see. Well, we're in Helicam live at this moment in time. So
that's good effort.
So, yeah. It's...
so they've got the limiter on, by the sound of it. I didn't think they were going to do the limiter
no, I didn't
tonight.
think they were either. I thought it was a case of...
trust.
Go for it and try and queue up at the back end. But personally, I think the limiter is the right idea, because... Not that I'm saying they would do that, but there's nothing to stop Keddy from just shooting off into the distance and
that's right.
Getting his own rolling start going before everybody else has got round. So having the limiter, I think, is the right thing, in my personal opinion. But who am I?
Come on, boys, weave.
No,
point. We need more weavers.
No, what is it? Oh, stab. No, stab instead.
No, you're jabber. You're a jabber.
A jabber. Is it
a jabber? Not a stabber.
Not a jabber. Okay.
No, not a stabber. You go to jail for that.
Yeah.
That's it, Chica. You weave, buddy.
Weaving.
So I just see the rear. Who was that flying off there? Was that?
I mean, have to say, if we go back to the qualifying as well, Lock and Load 18 thousandths of a second behind. Yeah, that's in the Bentley. I mean, it's not a bad car anywhere, but it isn't the fastest thing in a straight line, top end. Like I say, low speed corners, really poor traction. Mid-speed corners, fantastic. Mid-speed punch, fantastic. Top end, not the best. Maybe not the worst, but certainly not the best. Ferrari goes well in a straight line, as we know. So, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it will, yeah. And Ferrari's got the good lateral grip as well. So I love the Ferrari through Ascari. She's she's brilliant through there.
She's always on a knife edge, though.
Well,
It's
yeah,
fast,
I know.
it's hard work.
Well, that's how you want it, though, isn't it? It's like, am I going to die or not? No, I didn't. So, but then the Aston and the Bentley, you can just drive to just do what you like through there. One finger, can't you? The curves don't matter.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got both the Mercs up there as well, and they're obviously quite punchy in a straight line. Monza suits them well. So I'm not surprised to see the two Mercs up there in the top 6. Who's in the Mercs? So,
who's in the Mercs? Yeah. I will tell you.
So it's DJ Clark, and I'm not sure who's his teammate.
So DJ Clark and Chica.
Oh, Chica, of course, yeah.
They're in the Mercs.
Yeah. So
again, I think Chica's a little bit of a dark horse. I said that last week. I think he had a good race last week.
Yeah.
He had an unfortunate first race, so.
Yeah. Well, here we go.
They're obviously similarly paced.
Yeah, go on then. So.
Oh, shut up.
No, you can talk.
I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to make a prediction here. So I'm not going to read out some of the Discord chat, but I do think that potentially Yvolton and Tuskowski may have a coming together in this race. I'll say no more, so I'm going to keep my eye on that at the back.
Okay,
I think a friendship has been born there.
Yeah. So here we go. Formed up 2 by 2. One of the Bentleys is lagging behind a bit. Wants to, in fact, it's Ledley, isn't it? Yeah. So he wants to just move up slightly. Otherwise, he's going to get swamped by those Mercedes. So here we go, approaching the line. It's got to be start any time now. Go, go, go.
Not yet.
No, go.
There we go.
And we're off. So, Keddy's, I'm surprised that Bentley's actually coming back again. You're not at the top end speed at the moment, are you? So,
we've had a crash there. Is that Letty? That's either Letty or Mr. He's took out. That's got to be lock and load.
No, lock and load's through. Lock and load and Keddy are both through. In fact, lock and load is ahead. So he outbroke Keddy into the first chicane. So they're away.
Wow.
Right up against each other. So I'm going to leave them to it, am I, or not? Let's stay on board because they are right together. I'll let us know what's going on behind.
So Green Pies is currently racing Dell, and they're coming up to the second chicane. Tuskowski's up there as well.
So Mr. Error's just made an error and gone over the chicane, the second chicane.
Okay.
But was in third. I'm not sure if he's kept that position or not. I can't see from the camera angle I'm on.
Okay.
But Lock and Load's stretching away already, whether his tyres are a bit better.
Who was that? King of the Hills in the Nissan. He's had a massive wobble there. He's off track at the moment. That's unfortunate for him. Don't know if there was any contact. Tuskowski was literally on his bumper as they came out of that chicane, but that's not going to do his race any good, unfortunately. That is a shame. You can do it, buddy. Keep on him. Green Pies, the new guy, he's up into 14th at the moment. He's currently chasing down. Oh, Tuskowski's done that. So Green Pie is actually up to 11th. Well done, he's chasing down Tarek, but Marpat is right behind him in the McLaren. Looks like he's got a run on him. And then you've got Dallin, Tuskowski and Yvolton. Okay, what's happening at the front?
Yeah, I'm on board with Keddy. He's behind Lock and Load over the start-finish line. He doesn't seem to be pulling that Bentley, so whether he's running slightly higher wing on this Ferrari? Yeah, because he's certainly not made any ground, even in the slipstream there behind Lock and Load on the main straight. So he may be running a slightly higher rear wing. I have to say,
we've got 3 going into T1. Tarek's just gone up the inside of Hutch and Joseph, I believe, and then he's just parked on the apex. That was a good move. He's just gained 2 places down there. Well done, Tarek.
Yeah, I was just saying that I'm pretty sure that for me, I always debate whether I should run the wing on the Ferrari around Monza on 1 or 2 at the back.
Yeah. I always have that same
similar
issue.
At times, but I don't know. I'm still undecided. I think most of the time I'll probably run it on 1, but
yeah, I think you like to run it on 1 just to make sure you've got as much at least resistance as possible for the straights. Whereas I sometimes think, well, I'd prefer to have it on 2, so it gives me the option of a bit more speed through the corners, which hopefully would carry the speed onto the straights. And that's always the dilemma, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine lines on this circuit, yeah.
Have a look at Crazies.
Yeah,
Crazies
so I'm on board with
right
Crazies right now. Yeah, and you've got Rashid right up behind him in the Bentley as well. So yeah, I'm following those three right now. We're on Helicam. They're all clean through Ascari. So heading down to Parabolica. So he's lost some time out of Ascari down there. So did Crazies against Chica. Coming through Parabolica is a little bit wide, and Rashid's just got up on the curve. So they've spread out a little bit. 7/10 of a second in it.
Joseph Tiro is coming out of Parabolica. He is on the bumper of Tarek. He wants that place back. He's just pulled out. He's going to go down the outside. So Tarek has gone defensive down towards the first chicane. What do we think? What do we think is going to happen here? And Taskowski is also in the background catching up with Green Pies pretty quickly. Oh, who was that? 222. Oof, Hutch come flying through there. I thought he was going to kill them both.
Crazy's just going through Curva Grande, and he's a 10th behind Chica coming up to the second chicane. And he's looked up the inside.
He's flashing him. Is he flashing him there?
He's compromised his line slightly through the chicane, lost a bit of ground, but he certainly seems to be on it right now. Wants to be making moves. So yeah, they've definitely pulled a gap from Rashid, and I think they're catching Mr. Error in front as well. So yeah, some good racing here.
Oh dear! Marpat's nearly lost it there, and he's in a sandwich at the moment with Taskowski and Lely. Lely's obviously trying to make his way back through that issue with and DJ Clark trying to make their way back through the field from that issue at turn 1. But these two are fighting. Oh,
and
really
Crazies has lost it. Totally lost it out of Ascari. Gone into the avoided the wall, but he's totally stationary. He's going to have to wait for people to come through. What I was going to say before that, though, full credit to Gamer Dad, because he's turned up at the last second and literally no practice before qualifying, and he's now running 6th place. So I'm just going to go on board for a moment with Gamer Dad. So he's in the GTR, obviously. So he's now trying to reel in Rashid in the Bentley. So what kind of a gap have we got? So it's 1.9 seconds behind, so I'm going to keep an eye on that because he seems to be running really well at the moment.
The closest battle on track at the moment is Hutch, Joseph T. Rowe. Those two, I mean, they are nose to tail, aren't they? And Tarek Tornado.
I've just gone on board.
Hutch, do man. That's a shame.
So, actually, I just got on board just to use going wide. Did he miss the chicane again and hit the sausage curve?
Well, I think he outbroke himself again. Like on the last lap, he came flying into that chicane. He did the same thing, and he basically, whether it's his own fault or not, put himself in between Joseph and Tarek. Yeah. But he didn't have control of the car, so he forced Joseph out wide there. Well, Joseph didn't have a choice. If he didn't move wide there was going to be a crash.
And he's gone off. Unfortunately, Joseph's gone off. And who's that in the Audi? He's just lost it. Oh, just about kept hold of it.
Oh, behind Green Pies. There's some good racing today, man. Look at this. And Lenny's look at him. Look at that punch on that Bentley.
So who's the man leading the groups? Oh, it's Green Pies in 9th place. So he's leading this gaggle of 5 cars.
Yep.
Doing a fantastic job right at the moment.
He was saying on Discord before, I think I'm going to be last. Well, he's...
Wow, fair play, isn't it? He's kept it together, kept in the hunt, up in the top 10. Can't ask for much more than that.
No error, no change in that top 4, though. Well, in fact, the top 5 that's pretty much been as it has been all season so far.
We're too wide into Parabolica there, sorry. Just as we were talking about, it looks like we've just jinxed Green Pie, so he's gone deep through Parabolica.
Yeah.
And Taskowski is going to get past him down the straight. Yeah. Should be clean past before the braking zone, I should think. Oh no, they're going to be side by side into the braking zone. Yeah, that Ferrari. Maybe he's running a wing 1 setting like we were talking about earlier, because he seems to have a bit more punch in a straight line. But Taskowski has actually managed to get through and taken that position. There's somebody going through and cutting the chicane in the background, one of the McLarens. Marpat, possibly?
Yeah, it would. Or Joseph. Depends. Was it the first or second one? Do you know?
So it wasn't 73. So
running.
so it's got to be Marpat, I believe.
Yeah. That group is tight.
Yeah. So if we just go back and go towards the front of that group a second. So let's go on board.
Rashid is all over the back of Chica again. He's right on him. I mean, on him. Yeah. And they're catching Mr. Error as well, by the look of it.
Yeah. So Lely's found himself in the middle of that a lot as well now.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go helicam for a moment and have a look, see if I can get my bearings on what's going on. So yeah, you've got Hutch at the front of that group, and then Lely behind him, Tikskowski. So yeah, and I think Mr. Green Price appears to be making the gap up. Sorry, go on.
Well, I'm just going to say, Mr. Error just ran wide out of Ascari, and he's got Chica, who's back to overtake him into Parabolica, and behind Chica is Rashid. So I think Rashid, if you just sit there, mate, he's been a bit quicker than Chica on the last lap. He's taken a tighter line through there. I think if he sits there, he could pick the bones out of these two because, well, Mr. Error's not going to want to give that place up. Chica wants a result, and
so Lely's got to be inside of Hutch. Is it? Yeah, Hutch has gone slightly wide, so Lely's now gone up into 8th place.
8th. Oh, and oh dear, Rashid's missed his braking point, and he's gone straight through. He's taken Chica out, smashed into the back of him.
Where was that?
And he's all over the track in turn 1. Chica and Rashid.
Well,
Mr. Error.
Somebody's been given.
So Rashid's got a drive through.
Yeah.
He completely missed his braking point and just. You know, you're looking for the 150. He was probably too busy looking at the other two in that battle, and he probably didn't touch the pedal until 120, and he just slammed straight into the back of Chica, which again is unfortunate because I know Chica's still running, but he seems to have a rough time at the moment.
Also facing the wrong way was Rashid there, I think, out the first chicane. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We just saw
just reversing.
Lely and Co whiz past, so he's had a bit of a disaster there. So let's get on board. So I'm just getting on board with Chica. Let's have a look, see if we can see.
Taskowski's putting a move on Hutch. Taskowski, remember, started last, and he's not. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he will make a move on Hutch. So that's a good drive.
I'm going to keep on board with Chica. Like you say, he's got a bit of a wobbly bonnet, so he obviously has damage. So I'm just going to watch him. He's coming just out of Ascari towards Parabolica. I'm going to stay on board.
Does he want to jump in the pits?
Well, no, I'm going to stay on board. He didn't look badly damaged, but I'm just going to keep an eye on see what his kind of top-end speed's like. Because obviously when you get aero damage on the front, it can seriously affect your top-end speed.
Of course.
And at Monza, that's the last thing that you need. So,
if it was me, I'd be diving in the pits now, get the tyre changed done, get the fix done, and just hope that you get an undercut.
Yeah, he's dived into the pits, got the car slowed down, and in he goes. So yeah, that I think is the right call.
I feel a bit sorry for Rashid there. Who's that having a problem? So, who's he gone past there? Is that Marpat? So Marpat's got an issue down the main straight. Because Dallas just drove straight past him like he wasn't even there.
Yeah, so Green Pies is right at the back of Tikowski again, coming up to first chicane. And Tikowski's missed his braking zone slightly, but actually no, it looked late, but obviously that Audi's very good on the brakes by the look at it. I have to say that's one car I haven't driven a lot of on this. I have done a few times, but can't really comment about its strengths and weaknesses, to be honest. Yourself?
Yeah. I drove the Audi briefly when we first started on this game, and I just loved the noise of the thing, and then realised I wasn't very fast with it at that point because it was in early days. And then left it.
So Tikowski's up the inside of Hutch going into Lesmo 1, and has made the move.
Look at Lely. Well, I think he just gave Tarek a little love tap there, which has caused him to back out a little bit, but he was like less than a tenth. Sorry.
Yeah, Green Pies is right up behind Hutch now, 0.3 as well. So just come out of Lesmo 2, heading down towards Ascari, obviously. You can see two of the cars ahead, so yeah, that's Lely. And who's in front of Lely at this moment in time?
Tarek.
Okay, right.
And Gamer Dad's up into 4th. This is what I love about this track. There's always stuff that goes on because it is
Hutch
so quick.
He's held on to it coming out of Ascari.
He has, but Green Pies has got it.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. That was a great save, though.
I bet he's absolutely loving it today, isn't he, this Green Pies dude? He's just joined up. He's having the race of his life.
That's it. Oh,
so
yeah,
looked
like Hutch is taking a dive there.
Then.
That's exactly what I was worried about. But
well, remember, Hutch has been so far. Hopefully, it doesn't happen. But he's been very late into this first chicane, so I'm going to stay on that and see what happens because.
Yeah, well, he nearly got back up the inside of Lely at the last lap.
Yeah.
At the first chicane, he didn't seem. He seemed to make the apex okay, the corner okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's all good.
So what's going on at the moment in time? So Lely is right behind Tarek.
Oh, he's got him. He's got him.
Has he? Right, okay.
No, he's got him. Yeah.
Yeah, as you say, he's just coming through Curva Grande. He's going to have to defend this line, I think. Oh, no, he's allowed the Ferrari up the inside, who had the back out. I think one of the Bentleys, is that Rashid again?
No, that's...
in the silver Bentley?
It must have been, yeah, it must be Rashid, yeah.
Having a torrid time at the moment.
Yeah, I was just worried it was JR, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Lenny's had a good drive, hasn't he? Lenny's had a good drive to come back from that incident back up to 5th.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Tarek, he was trying to make a move back up there, but I think he had to back out of that because he wasn't sure what was going on with the Bentley off the track, because he could have come straight back on the track, straight in his line. So I think he backed out of that move there. So that allowed Lely to stretch away slightly. So who else have we got? So most of it's spread out at the moment, isn't it? Well, we've got Hutch still is quite close with Green Pie. So let's go back on.
Why don't you have a look, once you've done that bit, why don't you have a look at Shadow Lancer in 9th?
Yeah, okay. We'll
just give him, because, give him a little bit of time. Because
in the Audi. So everybody, well, I can say everybody. Rashid hasn't pitted, but then otherwise everybody up to 12th place has now pitted. So which one of our leaders is going to be the first to blink, I wonder.
Gamer Dad's just jumped in the pits.
Okay, so what position
as has Ledy, as has Tarek. So he's gone in, so 4th, 5th and 6th have gone in. So Green Pies is promoted to 5th. So he's just got to put the foot down now and see what happens.
Yeah, Shadow Lancer's sitting there all on his lonesome, having a bit of I don't know, an easy race, shall we call it? Nice relaxing race.
Yeah, exactly. He's just building his consistency. That's all he's got to think about now. And he just hit your markers and
keep it clean. Happy days.
Don't make any mistakes. Or no big mistakes.
So, like I say, Gamer Dad is in the pit, so he's the leader of the guys in the pits, if you like, or our highest runner in the pits. So the top 4 still yet to pit. In fact, Green Pies now finds himself in 4th place, which obviously he's still got to pit yet, but even so, he's running right up to the sharp end right at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah. Let's hope he remembers to pit.
Yes, let's hope so. Being new.
Well, that would be a shame, yeah. So Gamer Dad's come out in 7th.
That's not bad.
Okay. No, it isn't.
Yeah.
So 12 seconds off your Volton.
Yeah, but is that updated since he came out?
Lock and Load and Keddy are both coming together. Now, I want to watch this because remember I was saying before about, it takes a certain amount of time in the pits and certain individuals are, obviously switched on and smart with their equipment and do their own manual pit stop. I believe Keddy is one of those chaps who will be off. He'll have his engine shut off before he even gets there. So let's see. They're both stopped at exactly the same time. I'm watching it from the aerial view now.
Yeah, I'm in the
and
pits.
We'll see who gets away. Yeah see who gets away first.
I'll tell you what. You look at that. I don't want to sit here for 30 seconds and watch that. Let's go and watch some racing. You keep us up to date. I'm going to go on board with Gamer Dad because I don't think we've really had much of him.
No.
Since
Mr. Error's just come in the pits as well, so the top 3 are in. Who's going to blink first? They've both come out at exactly the same time. So they're both coming out the pit lane now. Literally both moved off within a nanosecond of each other, so the gap will stay as is.
So Gamer Dad, again, he's all on his lonesome right now. Got nice free air, so he can just pound some laps out. See how much time he can make up on the guys in front.
Oh, who was that in there? Keddy. So Keddy's come up with a back mark. I don't know if it's Joseph or if it's Marpat, but he got in the way into that first chicane, and that is going to cost him. He's now nearly 3 seconds behind Lock and Load That one incident that could decide the race right there. And Green Pies is winning right now.
Exactly
Enjoy
what I
that,
was
buddy.
going to say, yeah, indeed, yeah. Let's hope, like you say, he doesn't forget to pit, but fair play.
Yeah,
Lead for a lap.
and Keddy's just tagged whoever that was in that in the McLaren was very slow into the second chicane, and obviously Keddy was carrying more speed in.
What
A
number
little
was
bit
the
of a
McLaren,
love
did
tap.
you see?
I didn't see, mate.
73 maybe?
Let's see where he's on track. No, so it will be Marpat. No, it's not Marpat either. Well, whoever it was.
There's only 2 people in McLaren Coupe, so
yeah,
do you know what one looks
know.
like? They're like orange blue at the minute.
It was probably an Austin Allegro or something like that.
Yeah, they're in your eyesight.
Yeah, shut up. It's a disability.
Yeah,
Don't pick on people with disabilities.
Yes, well,
you know, the YouTube police will have you.
I'm sure they will. So at the moment, if you take Rashid out of the equation, because I believe he's in the pits, and that's that. I think he may have given up on this one.
Yeah.
Other than that, the only 2 people not to pit are your Volton, which we were talking about earlier on, finds himself in 4th place, and Green Pies, who is still out there and doing another lap.
I think Green Pies is just going to go as long as he can and just enjoy being first.
And why
see
not?
Exactly. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. He's leading the race. You know.
So there's no extremely close battles at the moment. Oh, so in fact, Tarek Tornado's right up the way behind DJ Clark. So what happened to DJ Clark? Because he's now 11th.
But DJ Clark got in that tangle with Lely in the first corner, and they both went towards the back of the grid. So he's been slowly fighting his way through, not as quickly as Lely. So
in fact, these 3 are the guys that are line astern at the moment. So you've got DJ Clark, Tarek Tornado, and Crazies within like a second and a bit of each other. So they're kind of line astern. They're the race to watch, as it were, at the moment. So they're just coming out of Parabolica onto the start-finish straight. Now I think it looks like DJ Clark might be starting to pull slightly.
Yeah.
Crazy's making ground on Tarek Tornado in front of him. Yeah, so DJ Clark said at 1:49.8, which is about a second faster than Tarek, and Crazy's looked like he was going for a look up the inside there, but thought better of it. He's taken about 0.4 out of Tarek Tornado, who's just put a bit of a tyre on the gravel on the exit of
he's on
first
him.
chicane.
Yeah, he's on him, isn't he?
I don't think he's close enough to make a dive into the last chicane, especially if Tarek decides to defend the line, which he hasn't. Has he left the door open?
He has.
No, so Crazy thinks twice about it and has tucked back in. Maybe...
and they're reeling in Clark at the moment, aren't they, a little bit?
And again, takes gravel there and slowed him out, so into the first Lesmo. It looks like Crazy's got the inside line, which he has.
Yeah, moved on. Well done.
Job done. Keep it smooth for Lesmo 2, and on to the next.
Well, you would expect from a 5-time champion he should have pretty good racecraft, and he does like a Beamer, because he did drive the Beamer in the GT4 Championship, if I'm not mistaken. Was he in a Beamer, Steve?
I will take your word for it. I think you're right, but I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
Well, I think I am.
I was too busy trying to control the excessively high tyre pressures and car wanting to throw me off the circuit every 30 seconds to concentrate on what other people were driving at the last race, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's why we decided to choose the Merc, didn't we, for the whole season? That's a good effort. Although that was my fault.
Yes. Somebody,
well,
when I wasn't here. Yeah, exactly. So I'm in Abu Dhabi.
Well, you was having a golf holiday.
Behind my back, you're just like, oh, we'll drive the Merc then. Having had a disaster of a race in it.
Well, I could have logged in as you and said I wanted to leave FRL altogether, and that would have hurt, wouldn't it? So, right. Anyway, so Tarek is 0.3. Okay, he's just been overtaken, hasn't he?
So the rest of the field, the next closest battle, otherwise, looks like Mr. Error on Joseph. It's about 1.5 seconds.
Right, Green Pies has pitted and he's come out in 4th.
Oh, fantastic!
But
that's
it'll probably
amazing.
oh no, Lenny's just got him. Okay, so your Volton's still got a pit. Lock and Load's got 4.5 seconds on Keddy. So barring anything, and okay, well, don't say that, but that looks good for him.
Coops, sorry, obviously the timing hadn't updated. So Green Pies is behind DJ Clark and has got Crazies and Tornado breathing down his neck right now.
Oh, Crazy's just tapped him a bit coming out of there. That's a shame. Our timing screens and that is a shame. But hey, at least he's again back near the top 10, and he's battling with the champ.
Yeah, that's it. 5 times.
Took yourself in at the deep end, mate.
That's it. But they are line astern, and I'm surprised at Crazy's. Well, Tarek Tornado maybe was feeling the pressure, wasn't he? Maybe I don't know whether he felt the pressure and made a couple of mistakes that's allowed Crazy's pass. Because since then, it's actually been the other way around, and Tarek Tornado's actually looked the faster, and he's gone for a dive into Ascari.
No, don't do that. Oh,
too much curb there, but it seems to have
worked
worked for him. Yeah, it seems to have worked for him. Let's stick with this battle then. Whilst this is on.
Do that.
So. What else is going on that's close?
Mr. Error is 3/4 of Joseph T. Rowe.
Oh, he's gone for a dive. Oh, Parabolic, they've come together. So Crazy's tried to do a cutback, and Tarek wasn't quite. Well, hadn't cleared the inside line quite enough. But I think that's really came for. I think Tarek made a misjudgment on a broke late and run deep into the corner. So I think Crazy had to kind of take evasive action into Parabolica and allowed him past to then try and retake the position, which is exactly what he did.
Yeah, and Mr. Error and Joseph T. Rowe, they just both came barrelling into the first chicane. I think Joseph took a bit of a defensive line in there. I thought Mr. Error would get a much stronger run out of that, but they're sort of status quo at the moment. But they're very close together. So, from a team perspective, if Mr. Error can get past a couple here, which we know he's got pace, he was third quickest, wasn't he? He was running third for a lot of it. Him and Lenny, that would be a good team finish for them in the top 5.
So just so you know, Cooper, sorry, whilst you were talking, Crazy's made his way past into the second chicane, past Green Pies, who's now 12th. Tarek's getting a little bit ragged. Crazy's makes a mistake out of Lesmo too and gets the car all sideways.
Yeah.
They seem to be overdriving the cars a touch at this moment in time, and Green Pies have another go back at Crazy's, but it's coming up to Ascari, which isn't really an overtaking place yet, and he thinks better of it, tucks back in.
Good.
Better line for Ascari though. This is some good racing right now.
I wish we had 2 screens to show everyone, because you're watching a good battle there. I'm watching a really good battle here with Mr. Error and Joseph as well. So it's good that there's stuff going on. And DJ Clark seems to be catching up with Gamer Dad. He's only 7 tenths behind him now. So
sorry, Green Pies has just run wide into Parabolica, and Tarek Tornado's through, so he's missed the apex like I was saying earlier on, and it's just pushed the car totally wide.
Whoa, Mr. Error, wow, he's had to cut that. You've got to give that place back, dude. He completely missed his braking point into turn 1 and went straight across the sausage curves, but he has backed out and he's let Joseph back through probably the same gap as they were. So good sportsmanship there, Mr. Error. Well done.
A bit of door banging and some rubbing going on between Green Pies, who doesn't want to give this position up. Outbroke Tarek Tornado into the first chicane. Has got the inside line through Curva Grande, but he hasn't got quite past, so can't cut across. So Tarek's got a chance to outbrake him into the second chicane, which is exactly what he does, but runs deep. Oh, and Green Pies has taken evasive manoeuvres, evasive action. And that means that Tarek Tornado is through and now got a reasonably clear gap.
Yeah. I think Yvolton's plan here, because we've only got 3 minutes 20 seconds left of the race, is to run until pretty much the last lap, and hope he's got enough of a gap to keep him maybe in the top 10. Mr. Error's dropped off Joseph now. Maybe he'd burnt them tyres up a little bit, or Joseph's calmed himself down and got into more of a rhythm. They're back to 1.3, so we can leave them alone for a little while, I think. Lock and load, he's out of there at the moment. It's over 5 seconds ahead of Keddy.
Now DJ Clark finds himself behind Hutch, just under a second behind now. Was he not ahead of him earlier?
He was. DJ Clark, I think, qualified 4th or 5th. Alongside Chica. So again, you've got to feel for these Merc guys. They seem to be in incidents almost every week. And I'm not saying they're through their own making. No, exactly. He's got a good run on him there, though. Is he going to make a move? No, okay. But, so he's evidently got pace. Oh, Hutch has gone way too deep there. Way too deep there. And DJ Clark is... Well, to be fair, he couldn't really get round him. But we know he's got pace.
just going on with Mr. Error, his closest battle.
Well, Shadowlancer's only 4 tenths behind Darren Mark. In fact, he's got Darren Mark.
Have you seen who's made his way up to 5th place, Cooper? After all the pit stop shakeouts? What a drive that has been. I haven't seen that happen. It's it just seems to have appeared.
We know he's quick round here. As I said, we've raced against him before anyway, before we even came into FRL, and he has got good pace round here. But to go from last to 5th, I don't think he's actually been in any incidents during the race at all. But that's one of the things with Monza. If you keep it clean and consistent and keep your pace quite high, there will always be issues on this track. People are always going to get involved, aren't they?
Yeah, sorry, Joseph's just got all sideways through Ascari, and that's put Mr. Error right on him. A couple of car lengths behind, coming down the run to Parabolica.
Hutch has lost it coming out of Ascari, so DJ Clark has gone straight through. Hutch just too much on the accelerator coming out, as we've said. That's one of the acceleration points that you've got to be a bit careful. So DJ Clark is up to 8th.
So Mr. Error's got the run out of Parabolica. He's just tucked right in behind Joseph. Yeah. He should, in theory, have a slipstream of the run, but is the Bentley got the legs at the top end? They're kind of even at the moment. That's going to come down to the braking. And Mr. Error's later on the brakes, missed it, and he picked up the outside edge of his left wheel. And unfortunately he's just tagged Joseph as he comes back past. It's allowed Joseph to go, but basically what happened there was he put his outside wheel on the gravel, which obviously totally lost his braking, got the car all sideways coming into the first chicane, ran deep over the curves, which bounced him up and couldn't quite keep it tight enough to avoid Joseph, who was trying to come back round the outside of him. And they're going again into the next chicane at Roger.
Yeah, and whilst you're looking at them, Crazies is about to put a move on. I think Hutch has damaged his car or he's done his tyres.
Sorry, DJ Clark is big in the mirrors. Big in the mirrors of Mr. Error because of the battling he's been doing with Joseph in front. So he's less than half a second behind. So
wow, there's some good battles going on here.
Yeah, so basically Mr. Error is having to look in his rearview mirror rather than trace down Joseph T. Rowe at the moment.
Come on, Hutch, defend that line. Okay, Crazies. There's got to be a move there before the end of the race. There's going to be a move in Ascari between Crazies and Hutch. I can just feel it. So I know we're on the last lap, so keep an eye on the top guys.
Yeah. So
Yvonne hasn't pitted yet. What's he doing?
So yes, I didn't realise we were on the last lap there. It's been that exciting.
Yeah.
So we've actually got Lockaload and Keddy already finished. Sorry.
Hutch, man. Hutch has lost it already, again, on the way out of Parabolica, which is like crazy smooth. They finished.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't. I've been that engrossed in the battles that is going on. That was the last lap done and dusted. So many apologies for missing the last lap for Lock and Load there, but there was so much exciting going on. I lost track of the time on the race, to be honest. Unfortunately, our mate Yvolton has missed his pit and hasn't pitted, so obviously didn't realise there was a pit stop in this sprint race.
No,
got himself for 130 seconds. Yeah. So I'm not sure where that's going to drop him to, but
probably another country.
So if we heard some expletives earlier on, I'm pretty sure there might be some more going on.
There'll be a lot of them now. Yeah.
So that's a bit
be a lot of
unfortunate.
beeping.
So we'll drop him out the results, but basically the result for the first race, you've got Lock and Load who's taken the win, with Keddy 5.7 seconds behind. So Lock and Load really
he smashed it. But
second after pit stop, he was really quick. Lely is in third. Tukowski with a great drive to fifth. Joseph T. Rowe, yet again a great performance from him again. Yeah, sixth place. Yep. Mr. Error seventh. Maybe a little bit disappointed with that. DJ Clark definitely will be disappointed with how that race has panned out from where he qualified. Yep. Gamer Dad, who I think had a great drive, having come in at the last second.
Just turned up.
Yeah. So you got Crazies in 10th, Tarek Tornado 11th. Green Pies eventually finished 12th place, but still a great performance for his first, as far as we know, first FRL race. Hutch there in 13th. Again, Shadow Lancer, a last minute standing, coming in 14th. Darren Mark 15th, King of the Hill 16th, and Dell 17th. And unfortunately for Chica and Rashid, they didn't finish the race. 10 laps and more behind.
More bad luck for those guys, I think. I think they've both got pace. They're both always running in the top 5, those two. And I don't know if it's just they're so anxious to get a result or to try and mix it with the guys that are just ahead of them. I just think they need to look after themselves for a race, yeah, and try really hard, maybe not to go for that overtake, because it just seems, that there's, I don't know if it's an ego thing, but obviously they want to win. I get that, and you want to be faster, but if you look at a championship and you're looking at the points now, we're third race in, third weekend in, so this is going into our sixth race, if you like. They need to start scoring some points because they have the pace. So,
yeah, indeed.
But I'm just going to leave you for a moment, okay? So
yeah,
I've just got to go and deal with something.
You carry on. I'll update what's gone on with the results because of your vaulting. So your vaulting with his 130-second penalty has dropped down to 15th. So everybody that was below 4th has moved up a position. So that takes Tukowski up to 4th. So fantastic result. Joseph T. Rowe up to 5th. Mr. Error 6th. DJ Clark 7th. Gamer Dad 8th. Crazy's 9th. Tarek Tornado 10th. So your top 10. And Green Pie's just missing the top 10 in 11th place. So great performance. What can I say? The next race should be tantalising. You're going to have Lock and Load, Keddy and Lely coming from the back. Extremely fast. Oh, and to mix it up, we now seem to have torrential rain. Oh, has anybody practiced for this? This could be extremely entertaining. So, second quali is only 7 minutes long. Obviously, the top 3 will sit this out, or should sit this out. Or if they don't, they drop to the back afterwards. But wow, this is going to be entertaining. So who's our wet master? Who can turn it on in the rain? Now, if memory serves me right, I believe that the mid-engine cars should have an advantage in the rain.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So I was just saying, who's our wetmaster? And obviously, mid-engine cars should have an advantage over the front-engine cars. So.
Well, I just went to the toilet, and
I thought you said you had some kind of an emergency. Did you?
It was. I needed the toilet. I was I was the wetmaster. And listen,
okay.
Think about the weatherman here. I went for a pee. I've come downstairs and it's raining.
That's why it was preemptive. You could hear it coming. Yeah, it made you want to go.
Yes, we're like that. Right, and interesting. Got a little bit of rain. So, Timmy.
Yes.
What is the most important strategy in the rain?
Go as fast as possible. Most in terms of what? What do you mean? What's the most important strategy? Early shifting.
Thank you for that informative information there.
Well,
that's going to really help everybody.
You didn't really ask me anything specific, did you? So, okay. Short shifting, obviously. Yeah?
Obviously, yeah.
So, help grip on the back end, accelerate out the corners. Different lines than the dry, where possible. Because obviously now, where you want the track to be rubbered in the dry to go as fast as possible, that's now your enemy.
It's going to be slippy, yeah.
Yeah, so rubber is now your enemy. So you want to find pieces of the track where the rubber isn't quite so laid down. Other than that, it's just hold on for grim life, basically, or grim death, whichever the right saying is.
Dear life, I believe, is the saying.
Yeah, one of them. My life's pretty grim, so that's probably why I said it. Grim life, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, such a grim life. Your life is so grim, What was you doing last week with your grim life? Oh yes, you were in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, working hard.
Checking if I was at the circuit.
I still swear I saw you.
You didn't see me. You definitely didn't see me. I was too busy here having fun.
Is that what you call it?
Wow. Yeah.
Fun, throwing it at the scenery.
Hey,
it's nice scenery, I'm sure. I mean, it's beautiful British countryside, but
I didn't throw it at the scenery.
I'm pretty sure I saw you throw it off at least twice.
That wasn't me. No, that was somebody else. That was the guy who stood in for you in our team.
Oh, you sure about that?
Nope.
So I'm pretty sure if I remember the highlights of the race, and I would class them as highlights. Maybe you wouldn't, but the highlights were the highlights. No, the highlights. The highlights were you throwing it off twice and running out of fuel. So they were the highlights, in my opinion.
I used quite a few swear words when I realised the pit thing. I did. I was really annoyed with it.
Were you competing with your Volton, were you?
Yes, I think I was probably worse. And I'm looking at the track map, and there's no yellow dots, which is well done, everyone. No one's thrown off the track yet.
Yeah. So who is on a fast lap? One wonders. Let's pick up who's 420s. The next person coming across the line, Darren Mark. Let's go on with Darren Mark. Oh, there's a yellow flag waving there. Don't know whether that's coincidental.
No, who's that turned round? It's one of the Audis.
Whereabouts?
Lesmo 1. So, Mr. Error and who's up his chuff? It's either Chica or DJ Clark are running rather close together.
Yeah, there's quite a few coming out of Parabolica now. On the main straight, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got 7 cars, so it's a bit.
Well, you've got to think it's only a 7-minute qualifying. It's a short qualifying, isn't it? So you've basically got your outlap, and you probably get 2 flies in.
Wow!
It's not a full 158.
Yeah, that's not bad. Rain track, I'm liking it.
Gamer Dad, look at him, 10th down.
10th down, yeah. So we're getting our first times coming through. So
you were saying earlier on, weren't you, actually, Timmy, with regards to, again, in the wet conditions, having a heavier motor? Yeah, because that Nissan.
Yeah, but you don't really normally you wouldn't want front engine cars because they tend to wash away. The front end wants to
wash
go away.
You're so funny. You don't even know you're that funny.
I know. I'm glad I can be entertaining in some manner. But yeah, in terms of the rain, traditionally you would want a mid-engine car. Front-engine cars being a lot heavier, and they're much less likely to be 50-50 balanced.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a few times coming through now. So, Joseph T. Rowe has gone pole with 1:57.9. Green Pie second. This is like I said, this rain is going to shake this grid up. I'm sure. So
and the top 3 have got to start at the back as well, haven't they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it'd be hard to fight your way through in this circuit anyway. But with the rain added in as well, will the cream float to the top, as they say? But yeah, we've got some good guys going out, or some good times coming in here. Shadow Lancer looks like he's had a bit of a mare on the only time he's set at the the so way down there, 17 seconds
he may
off.
Never have driven in. He won't have any setups here for the rain.
DJ Clark's just taken another 2 seconds or so out of his own time to go pole with a 1:56.6. And Crazies, here we go. Crazies is second, 0.4 off, so 1:57 flat. So I'm currently on board with Mr. Error. I want to see if he can improve his time. He's coming down to Parabolica. It's currently 4.6
Gamer Dad's improved.
off.
He's gone up to third.
Yeah. So Mr. Error's 4.6 seconds off. So you'd like to think he would improve the time. So he comes out of Parabolica, running down Rettifilio Tribuno.
Let's see if Joseph can improve his time. He's just coming through Parabolica now. See if he can.
So Mr. Error has improved, but only 6, still 1.5 seconds off.
Joseph T. Rose did gone pole a 56.5.
99 thousandths of a second.
Yeah. Green Pies is coming through Parabolica now. He's gone a bit wide there. Let's see if he can follow suit and stick a quicker time in.
Yeah, I'm on board now with Mr. Green Pies. Do you think that's a play on words? I mean,
Green Pies?
Yeah.
Why would it be a play on words?
Maybe he should be part of the Triple X team, I don't know.
Oh my god.
So anybody else left on track? Who's coming down the back straight there? Is that 444?
444.
Yeah, Tarek Tornado.
Tarek.
Oh,
he should be good.
They've just had a coming together. Him and I'm not sure who it is in the Mercedes. Mercedes has gone past clean, so
DJ
Tarek's
Clark, maybe?
Possibly.
He's the only other mark out there. Yeah. That's
and
he's taken pole.
despite the coming together, he's done the business. So Joseph T. Rowe, much as he'll probably be disappointed, he shouldn't be, because that is a great effort.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So a lot of guys there didn't set a time. I dread to think.
Well, maybe it's just lock and load. Keddy and Lenny, they didn't set a time. They don't need to. They've got to start from the back. Your Volton is probably still swearing, and Marpat and Dal Rashid. You never know, mate. They might not have setups for the wet. They might not want to use the normal setup. I don't know. But you've got a race, so
exactly.
You should take the time to get out there. Yeah, I know.
So half the grid has not set a time. This is going to be interesting. So just so we can run through the grid. So we've got DJ Clark on pole, 156.2. Joseph T. Rowe with an absolutely impressive 156.5. Then Crazies, 0.8 off, and Gamer Dad right behind him, only 80 thousandths or so behind. Again, Tarkowski having a great showing in 5th place. Green Pies just behind him, so again another good run from Green Pies. Mr. Error, who I would think would
he'd be
like to
disappointed
be
with
faster. Yeah, I thought he'd be wanting to be faster. Tarek Tornado 8th, Chica 9th, Shadow Lancer 10th. The only people that set times. So what's your prediction here then?
Well, it's now not wet again, so the grid is completely jumbled up.
Oh yeah, so it's a greasy track. 2026.
That's my favourite type of track. That is a greasy track.
A greasy track, yeah.
It's brilliant.
If you say so, I'm sure I'd hate every minute of it.
Well, he used to drive a Nissan 200SX, so I'm sure you would love it.
Yeah, but that's only if you want to go sideways everywhere, isn't it? That's not really the idea.
I know it's
racing,
the wrong
is
game. No, not really.
So
what's going to happen here? So DJ Clark, you've got to think. He's got to be thinking, right.
He's got to make
I had the pace in the last race. Yeah, I had the pace in the last race. I'm on pole. No disrespect to Joseph or anyone else, but I should have the pace here. Crazies is probably thinking, well, I'm going to win this championship as well now. I'm third. I'm going to win this race. Tarkowski is thinking, I hate everyone because I started last in the last race, and I think he's driving angry. I think he drives better angry. That's my guess, right, from what I'm watching. Green Pies is like, I just can't believe this. You know, the look of the Irish is fantastic. Mr. Error, he's not going to be happy. Tarek will think, okay, I'm about where I should be, considering where he normally is. Chica's probably going to be annoyed with that lap. He was 3 seconds off the pace, but it's dry. So if he can keep out of trouble, he should have a good race from there. Shadow Lancer's got to be happy with that, and they say everybody else didn't set a lap, which they're now thinking, well, who gives a shit, because it's dry. I'm not scared anymore.
Yeah, so greasy track, they're going to have to think about braking earlier. They're going to have to be thinking about being a bit easier on the throttle and rolling off the brakes a bit more. Yeah. No,
it's not going to happen. So my prediction is...
I didn't say it was going to happen. I said that's what we need to be doing.
It's not going to happen. Crazies will do well at the start of this race. You would think with all of his experience in these leagues, so the amount of track time that he's had, you would assume he's raced on a fair few greasy tracks. Yeah. And I think he knows that Beamer. Out of the others, I don't know. I think I'm going to say Gamer Dad's going to do well because he's got to be old like us if his name's Gamer Dad. So I'm sticking one on for the Nissan on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm making no predictions whatsoever because it's Monza, first corner. It's a greasy track. Everybody's going to miss the braking. Who knows? Pinball wizards, here we come.
Yeah,
Maybe.
And then you're going to have Lock and Load, Lenny and Keddy who sit at the back. They'll watch everyone burst into flames and they'll just come through 1, 2 and 3. Well, let's see what happens.
Let's see, yeah. Okay, off we go. Time for race 2 here at FRL GT3 Sundays. If you are watching this, you're not part of the FRL family, please come along, join the Discord, get involved. There's plenty of racing to be had.
Facebook channel,
Yeah.
YouTube channel. Yeah, there's two tiers. The FRL's grown that much recently, which it should do because of the people that are in it. There's now 2 tiers in every different league that they're racing, so it's only going to grow from there. So as Timmy's saying, definitely get involved. The more, the merrier.
Yeah, it's a great community. Lots of talking, lots of nonsense and entertainment. Get in it. Get in there. So, I don't know who's going to get the start. Who made a really good start at the start of the last race? Somebody made a really good punchy start, but I can't remember who it was. But the Mercedes at the front there should have quite a bit of grunt at the start. But that BMW as well, that's also kind of quick mid-range punch as well. So you've got a couple of fast cars up the front there.
That's a great mix, isn't it? You know, each of those cars have got their strengths and weaknesses.
Well, you look at the top, top
track.
6? Top 6 are all different manufacturers, top 7 are all different manufacturers.
Yeah.
So, like you say, it's absolutely an eclectic mix of cars at the front there, so who knows?
A nice word. That was a great word you just used. Thanks, there, mate, Timmy.
Yeah, I just broke out the dictionary.
Mix.
Oh, mix, yeah.
Eclectic, that's good. Yeah, that reminds me, like, that kind of word, it shows your worldly experience with a word like that.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go
also...
Sorry, go on.
What? You wouldn't what?
Oh, well, I wouldn't go too far and start using those words, because you might tell me off, a bit like when I was doing my rhythmic analysis.
Well, I was just going to... I don't want to know about your rhythmic analysis.
No.
Or your rhythmic analysis. Anyway. Yeah. Back to the race, I think, but yes.
Where are we at? Oh, yeah, okay, so we're only half a lap round. Wow, this is
when we're doing a live stream, can you see when people mute us?
Well, if I was people watching the stream, I'd probably mute us all the time, but there we go.
Yeah, me too. I'd like, just shows the racing guys. Shut up.
Yeah.
No.
So, half a lap to go before we get round to the start. Let the excitement commence.
A green track now, so we're not greasy anymore. So what were they doing? So Keddy and that earlier on a green track were doing, what were they doing, 49s, or did they tip it in the 48s on a green track in practice?
No, I think they were in the high 48s, weren't they?
Okay.
Because we were saying we were expecting a 47 when
47,
it was Bolton.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody actually got there, did they? In the race and we missed it. But
No, they didn't, no.
So here we go. Out of Variante Ascari, down to Curva Parabolica.
People on the grass.
Yeah.
Get back on the grass. Get off the grass, dude. It's going to mess your tyres up.
Yeah, you don't want to be having gravel and grass all over your tyres for the sprint down to the first corner, do you?
No.
Less traction off the line, not as good on the brakes.
Are we going to have a clean T1? It's not very often you do get a clean T1.
Yeah, it takes cooperation of the entire field, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, Parabolica. Kind of coming up to the line, 2 by 2. People should be getting organised.
All right, let's have your most energetic start to a race. Yeah, that's your challenge. Give me your most energetic phrase for the start of the race.
Energetic phrase? What the hell is one of them?
It's eclectic, apparently.
Go. There we go.
Wow,
good.
Go! Right.
Oh, and Gamer Dad is straight past the McLaren. Got a great run at the start there. So DJ Clark is clear as long as he doesn't get shunted. Yeah, everything seems to be okay.
Yeah. Oh, this is when it gets dangerous.
Gamer Dad got a tad of a nudge. Oh, how did DJ Clark go wide there? I missed it. I was looking at the back and he's gone wide and through the chicane. Seems to have gained an advantage.
Is that Tuskowski's just had a little nudge? Yeah, Tuskowski's just got into a nudge with Mr. Error, unfortunately. Come on, boys. Who's that? Shadow Lancer's jumped out the way of Chica there. I think he got a bit scared.
Yeah. Who is Crazy's teammate? Because he's just made a move up the inside into the second chicane.
Crazy's is Dell.
Ah, okay, so he's just managed to keep hold of it. Again, a bit more chaos in the back there.
King of the Hills has just totally cut that, hasn't he?
Tarkowski's got a run
had a
on...
bad start, man. He's down to 11th and somewhat Shadowlands.
Been shunted. There's chaos at Lesmo 1. 3 or 4 car crashes. Keddy's just managed to avoid it. He actually had contact.
Oh my God.
That was absolute chaos. I think we saw some of it. No idea who was involved, apart from Keddy, who did shunt into the back of someone, or onto the side of somebody, sorry. So whether he's got damage, I don't know, but that could compromise his race. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Well, you've got to think him, Lock and Load and Lely are trying to fight their way back through, aren't they? So
Dale's just gone off at Ascari and come straight back on the track. Luckily, it didn't look like he collected anybody when he did.
Green Pies and Mr. Error side by side coming down the back straight.
Yeah, I'm on them.
Yeah, Chica's in 5th. Yeah, that's a good spinner. Exciting start, hasn't it? It's because you said go so vigorously.
That's it. Yeah. What was the phrase I was doing? That was. What was it?
Go.
My most energetic phrase. Yeah, go. That's all you need.
Yeah.
See, and chaos ensues. Happy days.
Right.
So Green Pies was sorry.
Oh, Crazy's is putting a move down the outside of DJ Clark into turn 1, and he's made that stick. He's parked it. Oh, DJ Clark's got to be. Come on! He's not going to want to lose that.
So we're on board.
Who's just done that?
Clark.
Green Pies has just done Mr. Error. Green Pies, I believe, has just moved up into 6th. No, Green Pies is 7th. Chica's just done Mr. Error. And Green Pies is catching him. I don't know why Mr. Error doesn't seem to have a lot of pace in that Bentley today.
No, well, I'm so impressed with Mr. Lock and Load in the Bentley round here, because it's not really a track for the Bentley.
No, it's not.
To be fair to Mr. Error, it's just Lock and Load seems to have so much pace in that car, no matter where he's driving. So
Dale's just absolutely binned it. He's just threw it straight off at Lesmo 1, literally straight into the wall. So I think he got some opposite lock and over corrected and just threw it straight in the wall there.
So at this stage of the race, Crazy's looked like he's got the speed on DJ Clark and is pulling away, although he's not the fastest through Ascari, but we're going to come off these guys because he's stretched a bit of a lead.
Well, have a look at Joseph. Joseph is hunting down Gamer Dad. He wants a podium. He wants his first podium, that boy. And Chica is still in there, so good.
He's still in there.
Well, I was going to say something else, but I thought as soon as I say that, someone's going to fall out of the sky and land on his car.
Yeah, well, he's 5th at the moment, isn't he? It's a decent margin behind Joseph, though, who is having a great evening's racing at the minute.
Oh, Yvolton's ran wide out of Parabolica there, and Tarek is right on him. There's going to be a move. There'll be a move into T1 on this one. He's on him. He got the toe.
Where's this? Sorry, who are you on
about? Tarek.
Okay.
And Yvolton.
Yeah, they're side by side. Come up to the first corner. Yeah.
Done. Don't go too deep in there. Nicely done, Tarek. Okay. That was a nice move.
Sorry, I had a bit
Joseph is now only 3 tenths behind Gamer Dad. He's cut 7 tenths out of him in this lap so far. He's enjoying that McLaren, isn't he?
Yeah, indeed, yeah. Just going back on with Joseph, timing looks like he was a lot closer than he is, so he's lost a little bit of time coming through the 2 Lesmos to Gamer Dad. So who else have we got? What's the closest battle at the moment? So Green Pies, Mr. Error. Oh, Lely 9 behind Rashid, yeah, so let's get on board with that.
Well, we know these two. I mean, Lely's obviously coming through from the back. Actually, so Lock and Load's he's done his pit stop already then, so he's been smart, he's getting it out of the way. Keddy, he's also already done his pit stop, so Lely is the top runner from the top 3 in the last race, but obviously he hasn't been any issues. And again, I think Rashid's got a point to prove. Just make it a clean pass, mate. Make it a clean pass.
Yeah, so the closest battle on track at this moment in time is Rashid to King of the Hills and DJ Clark to Crazies. Now, it looked like DJ Clark was dropping back slightly from Crazies, but he's now pinned it. Not actually on board with him, but the timing's showing he's pinned it. And who's that just dropped into the pits? It's Rashid just gone into the pits, yeah?
And Lenny.
And
not Lenny, sorry, Mr. Error,
Mr. Error, yeah. So they were hunting the two biome. So did somebody just come out of the pits there?
I don't
Maybe
know.
that way one of the BMWs. Was that crazy? He's been in the pits already? No, he's not been in the pits.
No, he's
so
down
it would have been
second.
Dow. Yeah, it'd have been Dow because he's already pitted. So
yeah. So the track temp's gone up 1 degree.
Yeah.
So
it's still green though. It might go to fast and slightly rubbered by the end of this race, maybe.
Oh, Joseph is gonna. Tell you what, he's just got all sideways coming out of Lesmo 1 there, and I thought he was going to bin it, but he held on to it. So
Lely's up the inside. Oh, we've ran a bit deep and a bit wide, but Lely's absolutely thrown it up the inside of King of the Hills there, made it stick.
He needs to push on. He needs to push on, doesn't he? He knows the other two have pitted, so.
So where at this moment in time? So yeah, I don't know whether something happened after I saw Keddy earlier on that got involved. Like I say, unless he's had damage, because he's down in 15th place, 57 seconds behind Rashid, and Lock and Load 3 seconds behind him.
Yeah,
so
but you have to think. No, but you got to think that they both started at the back. Evidently, I know Lenny did as well, and he's further up the grid. But they've started at the back, and then you had all of those issues in the Lesmo. And you never know, they might have just had to have pretty much come to a halt to avoid the crashes and stuff like that. They've both pitted as well, remember? The other people haven't, so there's probably another 50 seconds or so in terms of in and out the pit lane with the 30-second stop. And Lenny hasn't pitted yet, so that's going to be...
So all the front-end DJ Clark is starting to put pressure back onto Crazy's, less than half a second behind him, coming up to...
Yeah.
The second chicane.
Oh, yeah, he's going much quicker than that. Both get a good run out. Are you on board with him?
Yeah, I'm following DJ Clark at the moment. Not actually on board, but not on the outside cam. But yeah, it's a question now, I think, if Crazy's going to make a mistake. So.
Yeah, Hutch has had
in fact, he's gone wide. Sorry, he's gone wide out of Lesmo too. And DJ Clark's got a run, but it's not going to be enough coming down to Ascari. Sorry, you were saying, Cooper?
No, Hutch has just thrown it off on the first chicane, so I think he's lost the place to Darren Mark and Green Pies. Green Pies and Yvolton are in the pits. So Yvolton wants to get it done this time. I think Hutch has got quite a wild Audi there, mate, to be honest. DJ Clark, 3/10.
He's damaged, or?
Hutch's car looks damaged, yeah.
Sorry, you were going to say?
Well, DJ Clark is on the tail of Crazies again.
Yeah, I'm on board with them still at the moment. You can see Gamer Dad in the background, who can't seem to gap. Oh, sorry, Crazy's has gone into the pits from the lead by the look of it. So DJ Clark continues. Will he get an undercut and pull out a better gap from the pits? But that puts Gamer Dad into second and Joseph T. Rowe into third. And Gamer Dad cannot drop him at this moment in time. Joseph T. Rowe is going really, really well in that McLaren.
Yeah, he is.
So DJ Clark's out on his own at this moment in time. So we'll get on board.
So I'm just going to let you... So Keddy's coming round. Keddy and Lock and Load are together. Yeah. And obviously they've both pitted. Everyone else is going to start dropping in. But these two are... There's a tenth between them. So, I mean...
Well, I'm not being funny. 20 minutes of this race to go. They're both a long way back in 12th and 13th place, although they're the highest people that have pitted. At this moment in time, if I was Lock and Load, I would be thinking about just cooperating.
No, he's not. He's all over him, mate.
Yeah,
he's
31,000, so let's go on board. Yeah.
He is hustling. Go on board with Lock and Load. Go into the car, because he is...
He's got a run on him. Keddy's defending the line.
I'm on board with Keddy.
Yeah.
And his rear mirror was pretty full there with a Bentley.
Yeah, well, it looked to me like he didn't quite accelerate out the corner as early as he normally would. Yeah, that Ferrari.
Oh, look at that run! How is that Bentley so quick?
No, I don't think it is. I think, as I was commenting earlier, I think Keddy's running higher wing rate on that Ferrari. because there's no way I'd anticipate that Ferrari being that much slower than the Bentley in a straight line. In fact, I'd expect the Ferrari to be pulling. So he must have quite a high rear wing on that car, I imagine.
Oh, he's just giving him a flash.
Yeah. So lock and load is through.
Lock and load gave him the indicators to say thanks very much.
Yeah. I think once the pitting's shaken out, they could be finding themselves right up there again, because obviously DJ Clark had been doing a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
Who was he for Crazies, wasn't it? So Crazies is the man who's highest up the list in 9th place, having pitted. So he has got a significant margin on lock and load. So I would expect Crazies to be able to hold that gap for this race. 18 minutes of the race left. We're talking 10 laps to go with a significant 24-25 second lead.
Well, Korea. Does he have that much of a lead though? It's saying that lock and load is 17 seconds behind him.
Now, yeah, okay. So
whether
the time updated.
When he pits,
no, it's pitted. Crazy's pitted. That's what I'm saying. Crazy's pitted.
Yeah.
So Joseph T. Rowe is in the pits right now as we speak.
Yeah. What's DJ Clark got to do then? What is he going to do?
Yeah, if he stays out too long, for me this tends to work better with an undercut. Yeah. You've
always said that, haven't you?
Yeah.
You tell me all the time, undercut, pitch straight away, and I'm like, nah. And then I never win, so...
I'm not quite sure that, pitting early or late is going to just hand you a win.
Oh.
I'm not sure that's how it works. So there's no real close battles this time, so last race at the end, well, unless it could develop the same as the last one once the pit's all shaken out, but there's no real close battles in the field right at the moment.
Well. Okay, so I don't know if you've cottoned on to that, but I have. We've got 2 people missing. 2 people. Taskowski's dropped out the server.
Okay, unfortunately.
Yeah, but looks like it was on purpose by a message I've just read. So if that is true, that is a shame. Don't know why that would happen. See the thing with FRL, we've got drivers of all different levels, and that's part of the great thing with FRL, and now the new tiers that we've got, because you've got your aliens who are scrapping at the front that we talk about all the time, and then we've got the people that are in the midfield that have got good pace and are getting better, and then you've got people who are at the back who've still got fairly decent pace but might be absolutely spanking new to this ridiculously awesome hobby that we've got.
Yeah.
And I just think everyone needs to be given a fair crack of the whip, so I'm not sure I agree with what's just happened there. But anyway,
sorry, Gamer Dad has just lost it coming out of Les Mode 2, all sideways, managed to collect it and not go into wall, but lost loads of time out of there, must have lost a couple of seconds easily out of there.
Right, Chica's pitted.
Yep, so it's only the top 6 that haven't pitted now, apart from Rashid, down there in 12th. A lap down.
So Lenny's obviously made Lenny's made the decision to go along then, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, so has DJ Clark by the look of it. I mean, all the guys at the front there have gone along. But then, like I said before, if you start out at the front, you don't want to pit too early, because you're going to find yourself in traffic. So although, your tyres might not be performing quite as well, are you going to lose as much time as you would do in traffic? This is the gamble, being at the front and trying to take early tyre stops.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily pay off.
As in comes Lenny, bang on halfway. I don't know if that's the right move, Lenny.
Where's that going to put him out of the pits, maybe?
I reckon it's going to put him around 11th, I reckon. He's got to sit there for 30 seconds. No, I think it might keep him clean, but I think it's going to come out around 11th. But, you would expect that would be perfect then, wouldn't it? Lock a load, Keddy and Lenny together.
But will it, though? Because he was significantly ahead of them when they went into the pits, was he not? I don't know. I'll wait with bated breath to find out where Lely ends up out of the pits. So who have we got then? So obviously the top 6. So we've got Darren Clark and Gamer Dad still out, and the next 4
All
are
in
in
the
the pits. So Gamer Dad and Darren Clark, or DJ Clark, sorry, are the last ones to go into the pits. So this could be interesting.
Lely's just making his way out of the pits, down the pit lane.
So who else is coming down the start-finish straight? There's a big gaggle of cars, so he's going to drop back 3 or 4 places maybe.
Yeah. Well, a Bentley's just come past. So
212 is the one that's gone past. That's Lock and Load. So he's actually come out of the pits behind Lock and Load.
And in front of Keddy, who's right on his backside now.
Yes,
I told
that's
you.
it, yeah.
I told you. I'm good at these predictions. Well, only thing in my life that I'm good at.
They're not really predictions. They're just guesses, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Well, yeah. Shh. It's my 8-ball. I'm no good at predicting the weather. Look what happened in the last session. It's going to rain.
So the thing is now, if Lely can hold or defend this position for half a lap, get his tyres up to temperature properly, have fresh rubber, can he hold Keddy behind him for the rest of this race? I'm sure it'll be hard work.
What we must comment on is Joseph T. Rowe is 4th in his own right. He's already pitted. He's 10 seconds ahead. Well, he's only 1.5 seconds, sorry.
Lock and Load, yeah. So I'd expect Lock and Load to swallow him up, to be fair.
I'd expect all 3 of them to take him.
But it's been a great performance, a great showing. You can't, however he finishes now, it's been a great race night, as far as I'm concerned, for Joseph. Happy days. So again, we've got Green Pie sitting there. He's 11th again, which is where he finished the last race, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think you're correct there. He's having a good run. Shadowlancer's down in 17th this time. So he might not have had. He might have got caught up in that stuff. Oh, he's gone wide.
Yeah,
Lely's
that's it. He's managed to get it back to the inside line though, and kind of defend the line.
Dude.
Yeah.
He's got to defend that for all he's worth.
Again, Keddy's Ferrari doesn't seem to have a massive amount of straight line.
No.
Just pull to the inside, defend the line, and break the toe.
But I wonder what he's running then, because even if you're running that wing on 2, you'd
expect it to be a match for that Bentley.
That.
Yeah, you'd expect the Bentley to be. Or it to be a match for Bentley, at least in a straight line. So yeah, I would be interested to see what his setup's like, to be honest.
So that is the race. So DJ Clark and Gamer Dad are both in the pits. They're both in. No, they're not. I'm just talking crap.
So
they both
DJ
still
Clark's
have to. Well, DJ Clark's just got in the pits. And let's expect Gamer Dad to do the same thing. No, he's staying out.
Yeah. Yeah. So all this fighting, Lock and Load is going to be running away. So is it going to be Crazies, the man that can hold Lock and Load off? So I'm just going to go in and go. So DJ Clark is still sitting in the pit, so I'm just gone on board with him. I just want to go and see. So who's coming round that corner right there? Number 29.
We've got a yellow flag down at the second chicane.
Or 79 maybe. Gamer Dad is still sitting in the pits. Right, it's just dropped down. Yeah, off he goes.
Well, Dell's have got an issue. He's just pulled off after the second chicane, which is good because it means that it hasn't got in anyone's way. But Lely and Keddy have got Josie firmly in their sights.
Sorry, Crazy's coming down the main straight. He's going to be right on Gamer Dad, I reckon, once he comes out. In fact, he may well be past. Yeah, I think he's going to be gone. Yeah, so Crazy's is into the lead.
Well, Gamer Dad's in the lead, but he hasn't pitted yet.
Yes, apologies. We'll call it net lead, just to cover up my error.
Go, Gamer Dad! Woo! Mr. Error's got a drive-through. What's he done? He must have cut a chicane or something, and he's coming into the pits to serve it now. Yeah, he's not had a good race, that chap. No. Must be frustrated. Keddy's now... Oh, wow, look at that. Keddy and Lely are together, and they're...
Yeah, they're nose to tail. They have been since the pits, haven't they? Since Lely came out of the pits. It's allowing Lock and Load to kind of run away. So Lock and Load's only 3 seconds behind DJ Clark now, with 9 minutes to go. Which puts him 6-7 seconds behind Crazies, as I say earlier, who's kind of net first, unless Gamer Dad has a stonking run to the end. But I say he's not been into the pits, so...
No, he hasn't. He's coming up to his teammate. Let's hope King of the Hill's does the right thing and gets out of the way. Maybe that's the plan. Maybe he's going to use King of the Hills to slow up the other guys, help him build a gap.
Yeah, so just a bit of an update as we go through then. So Gamer Dad is currently first still. He's not pitted as yet.
Joseph T. Rowe, sorry, you need to go on to that. Joseph T. Rowe, Keddy and Lily are all three abreast down the back straight.
I'm on
and
that,
there you go. Joseph T. Rowe's just lost 2 positions, and Keddy's done that smart. He's going to go up the inside.
So on board with Joseph T. Rowe, watching the pair of them. Keddy's kept the tight line. Oh. But again, that Bentley seems to have got the Bentley's
going to... Yeah, you think he's going to get... He's not going to be able to defend into the corner, though.
In fact, Joseph T. Rowe's got a run on the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Keddy's Ferrari seems so slow in a straight line.
Oh, they're going to turn... Oh, they've touched.
Yeah, was
Joseph T. Rowe wants...
Yeah.
He was trying to come across, wasn't he?
Yeah, not...
Go on, Lenny.
And he's missed the braking zone.
Oh, mate, that's your race. Unlucky, Joseph. Mixing it with the big boys there. Being brave.
So that's got Keddy right on the back of Lely again, less than a tenth behind. This is close racing.
Well, that is the race, isn't it? That's the battle on track.
Yeah,
Gamer
so you've
Daddy's
got Carrot
still pushing
Tornado,
it.
to be fair. He's less than a second behind Green Pies at the moment. Now, I don't know if Green Pies has just taken him, because Green Pies now 10th. And last time we spoke, he was 11th. So whether that...
Gamer Dad's in the pits, dude.
Okay.
Gamer Dad's in the pits. So, where's Crazies? So, Crazies is coming down he's coming down towards Ascari.
Yeah.
Alright, this is going to be close.
Yeah. That's more than 30 seconds out, surely. Just to trundle down the pits. Maybe 40, 50 seconds. I think he might get out in front, you know, but...
Well, he's through Ascari. It's going to... I think it's going to be really close.
I'm going to go on board with Crazies for a minute then. Let's see what happens.
And I'll tell you when Gamer Dad starts to leave the pits. Keddy and Lily are obviously still together, only 3/10 apart. I'm not looking at that. I'm just having a look at the timing screen. And he's out. He's on his way.
Yeah, but he's in the
on
pits.
his
I
way.
think he's not going to get there. He's going to end up 4th, maybe, I reckon.
Wow. Okay, so there goes Keddy.
Behind, it's going to be behind Clark and Lock and Load, I think.
Lock and Load.
Yeah, so he's net 4th.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Lily and that might come through yet. No, Lily's not going to get there. They're going to come together at the breaking point. By the look of the map. Good effort, Gamer Dad. Good effort.
So I think I'm just going to go into Helicam.
That's Lely. Lely's on him now. Joseph's there. Well, Keddy's gone dropped behind Joseph. Keddy's gone behind Joseph. Where did that move happen? So Keddy must have had an issue then. Look at him, he's clearly slower.
Did they have a coming together? Is he carrying
Must
damage?
have done.
Maybe.
He's definitely slower. Joseph is mixing it today.
Yeah, it looks like
he's going to be pumped at the end of this, isn't he?
Yeah, Lock and Load's pushing. Looked like he made a bit of a mistake out of the second chicane there. Coming into Lesmo 1. Is it, I believe? Yeah, Lesmo 1.
He's a monster, isn't he?
Oh no, it wasn't Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2. So we're now running down to Ascari. Lock and Load has got a run on DJ Clark, who seems to have backed out of it. Yeah, just let him go.
Just pulled over. And he's thanking him. There must be some money changing hands here, or some contracts for next year or something.
Yeah, that was very odd. Very odd indeed.
Or but maybe they'll all get a special mention on his channel. I don't know, I'm just guessing. There's got to be a reason for it. I am cynical, yes.
I mean, you could be
That's
right,
another big word.
Cynical.
That's another big word.
Yeah, sorry, I'll stop that.
Right, Gamer Dad is right up the chuff. Is he? Well, it says he is, but it doesn't look like he is.
He's not, is he? So that's what I was just looking at. That's just on board. Oh, it's not far behind, but it's not. Yeah, but just about a second.
Lies.
So Joseph's behind them, so 2 seconds away. So still in the hunt there.
Yeah. Well, the top 3 together. It's only, I reckon, this lap it'll have Crazies. And now DJ Clark seems to picked up the pace a little bit again. He's within touching distance.
Yeah. So yes, don't quite understand that manoeuvre. Unless they're teammates next year somewhere, next season.
maybe, but also the game does have a habit, of sometimes giving you blue flags for no reason, and maybe in the heat of battle or whatever, and he might have been given a blue flag when he shouldn't have been given a blue flag, and he thought, oh, blue flag, but then he should be thinking, well, I'm second, so...
Yeah, and the other thing I was
I
say
don't
to
get a
that
blue flag.
is... Yeah, the other thing I'd say to that is, not everybody's quite as stupid as you. I mean, that might be something you'd fall for.
I'm too tired to retort on that one, okay? You can have that one. King Timmy. Right, Green Pies is only 3/10 off Tarek. Here we go. The two Ferraris going to battle, but you're looking at the front, yeah?
Yeah, Lock and Load's right on 0.2 of a second behind Crazy's.
Yeah, but look, DJ Clark's only now 4/10 behind. What's going on? That makes sense.
Oh, Lock and Load's tried to go up the inside. Crazy's defended the line. Oh, Crazy's lost it. Oh, I would suggest Lock and Load squeezed him a bit there, but he's got all sideways coming back out of Parabolica
DJ
as well.
Clark. Well, it is a good battle, anyway, I'll give him that much. Come on, you got a run on him there, that Merc. He's gone defensive. Remember, boys, elbows out.
Yeah, I think
he's going for it.
I was crazy. I'd have been a little bit unhappy with the move through Parabolica there. I think
was it a little
squeezed him a bit, maybe didn't give him quite enough room. Touched and then got all sideways. But I think we've only got a lap and a bit to go.
Yeah, but DJ Clark's probably thinking, I don't care if you're my teammate next year or whatever it is. I want to have a go. But well, it's good that the top three they're all there, aren't they? With
Linus
2 minutes to go. Green Pies is making a move on Tarek. He's done him. But he's broke too early. Tarek, get that turned in. I think Tarek broke too late and he's gone over on T1. And Green Pies is through into the top 10, and Rashid still hasn't pitted yet.
So that's an improvement on last race. He was the 11th last race, wasn't he? So
yeah,
another improvement. Very good racing. But yeah, we've got basically Lock and Load coming through Ascari for the penultimate time.
Joseph T. Rose are back to do a move on Gamerdad. There's a 10th in it. And Chica's in the background as well. At least he's in the top 10 this time. He's making the move. He's going for all the side into Ascari by the look of it. He's done it.
Yeah, he's got a tight line, but he will get a run out of it.
Yeah, and Chica's looking to take advantage of that as well.
Yeah, I'm on with Joseph at the minute.
Chica's got a run. Chica, don't hit him. Don't hit him. That could be
three abreast.
Three breasts.
Oh, a bit of nudging there. Yeah. Joseph's got a really good inside line. Yeah, up the inside of Chica and up the inside of Gamer.
What?
They're coming together.
Chica
didn't leave enough room for each other.
God, boys.
If I was Chica, I'd be sitting there and saying justice from that previous race.
Yeah.
No, just what he needed, a bit of luck.
Yeah, but he'll probably throw it off now on the first chicane. My brakes failed.
Hopefully not.
Anyway, let's get on board with the top guys for the end.
I think that was 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, they say. So I'm not sure whether I'd class that as a racing incident.
They were racing hard there. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
And Joseph is still now behind Gamerdad.
So yeah, we're on board with Lock and Load, going through, I think that's Lesmo 2, yes it is. And we're now heading down to Ascari for the last time. And yet again, Lock and Load has produced the goods when he needed to.
He is a monster. He is a monster. He hasn't done anything wrong in any of the races so far, has he?
Yeah. So yeah, clean out of Ascari.
Must stop giving him lessons.
Coming down to Parabolica. Pulled a nice gap to DJ Clark, 2 seconds, and Crazy's a further 2 seconds behind that.
I don't think there's going to be any moves anywhere, and Joseph's half a second behind Gamerdad, but I can't. Unless there's a lunge somewhere.
Yeah,
through Parabolica.
Lock and Load coming across the line and takes the checkered flag for first place in the second race.
Well done, Lock and Load. Well done.
Well done, DJ Clark. Well done, Crazies.
So
that was a good race.
Yeah, Lely's come across the line for a 4th place, a very well earned 4th place, if you ask me.
And Chica. Come on, Chica. Come on, Chica.
Clear
Get across
away.
the line.
Yeah, 5th place, clean. Gamer Dad has managed to hold off the assault of Joseph Tiro, which seemed to last the entire race. What a great drive from Joseph. Rashid.
Rashid's going to have 130
yeah,
second
he's
penalty
not pitted. He's going to get a penalty by the look of it. So had a disaster of first race and
Green
second.
Green Pies will be promoted to 8th.
That's right. Yeah. So
awesome.
What a great 2 races from him. King of the Hills finds himself up in the top 10.
Top 10. Yeah.
As will Mr. Era after what I would say was a bit of a disaster of a race for him. I'm sure he'd admit.
Yeah.
So he finds himself in 10th with Rashid's penalty. Yvolton up there in 11th, just missing out in the top 10. Our guest from earlier. Then Darren Mark, Hutch, Tarek Tornado, Shadow Lancer, and unfortunately we have Keddy 2 laps down. So I'm assuming with terminal damage.
He must have had a problem. Yeah. So, Dal definitely had an issue. Obviously 7 laps. So there you go. What a couple of races that was. That was
entertaining.
Bloody great, wasn't it? That was awesome.
Yeah, some really good racing, some tight racing. You know, it was hard to decide what to watch. But
it's a shame we can't have 2 screens because there was stuff going on everywhere then.
It's very odd because it was like it was really strung out with lots of gaps, and then all of a sudden there's people together, and it was very yo-yo-y in terms of the gaps. I think it was some of it obviously people out of position at the start of the race and what have you. You know, from the rain qualifying, which made the race so entertaining. Maybe they should do that more often, just not in the races I'm in, hopefully.
Well, we will see. Right, that was good. So next time out for our GT3 Sunday, we are at the Hungaroring. So that'll be a good one. That's always a good track. That will get things moving. And I think, Lock and Load, not Crazies, I'm sure he'll be involved. Lely and Keddy, they'll recommence their battle. And, well, DJ Clark, Rashid, I don't think he's covered himself in glory today. He's quicker than that. Chica, they need to get into this fight, don't they? They need to get in because those top 3, I think by the end of next week, your 4 rounds done, they're going to be away. I mean, they are away, but they need to make up some ground. So it is all to play for.
Indeed it is. So thanks all for viewing. It's been great entertainment, and we look forward to seeing you next time out. Good night.
Yes, good night, everybody. Have a nice evening, and obviously next week I will be doing the broadcast, so it will be much better and much more fun.
I'm sure
there won't be so many big words from our eclectic, rhythmic Timmy Blunder. Anyway, right. Anyway,
good night all.
Good night all.